in general.
Yeah, motherfuckers make $10,000 a month just playing video games. Some of their video game tournaments, motherfuckers be winning $30,000, $40,000 for playing video games. You see, all the tournaments and
It's
shit
a
being on
book.
Twitch.
You want it.
Don't read that.
Why
Because you're gonna be a communist, and people don't like communists.
not? Are you a communist? You're not a communist.
I agree with a lot of things that Karl Marx said. And that's the thing. People
Actually,
like,
the thing about
fascism,
it,
communism.
I don't agree with any of it because it's like there's no, like, even capitalism. Capitalism is great for those it works for. If your family has money and you're born into some money, or you got some shit to start up, if you're in capitalism, you're gonna be fucking good, Joe. You're gonna be good.
Yeah.
So it's
Capitalism
just,
is a good idea, but
it don't work, Joe.
You know, it's
and I realize that.
capitalism is what they do here.
But socialism is like,
That's why communism isn't. We need to.
But then, when you hear about the Communist Party, it's just like I remember learning about the Communist Party in school, and like right before I learned about the Communist Party, I learned about the Salem witch trials and all of that, and they just made the communists seem like they were terrible, terrible, terrible people, which they probably were back then.
Get you up to date on that, and also we're taking your comments and questions on the year, so you can write to me on Twitter, @Lookner on Twitter. Let me know your thoughts. @Lookner on Twitter. And thanks so much to
I noticed,
our
sometimes you wear contacts, I
for
guess.
being in our chat
Sometimes
tonight.
you wear
Thank you to the
glasses.
moderators. Okay, so one
glasses
thing
just
I
make
want to
people
update you
look
on is
I like
it
people
had
without
been
your
reported
glasses.
a couple hours ago by a number of outlets that a Capitol police officer died
You think so?
who had sustained injuries during the riot yesterday. And then it's more recently, there's been a couple reports that the officer isn't dead, but it may just be that the officer is going to go off life support. So let me show you what's going on here. So David Begnaud says now Capitol Police say police officer has not died. Media reports regarding the death of an officer are not accurate. Some officers were injured and hospitalized yesterday. No officers have passed away. Representative Dean Phillips and Marco Rubio said they were told an officer had died. Now, the thing is, though, yeah, look. Oh, look, here it is. David Begnaud. Look. Bruce Leshan, I didn't see this before. Bruce Leshan tweeted, correction, Capitol Police Union Chair Gus Papathanassiou now says officer has not passed away but is still on life support until his family can arrive. Okay. So, unfortunately, it looks like he's going to pass away. Yeah, I just saw this myself. I saw the first tweet. I didn't see the second one. So again, Bruce Leshan, who's with WUSA 9, which is in D.C., says Capitol Police Union Chair Gus Papathanassiou.
Gus Papathanassiou. I wish that was my last name. Yeah, I wish my last name was Papathanassiou.
So unfortunately, it looks like he will be pronounced dead soon, sadly. So that's what it looks like the situation is there, unfortunately. So I'm sorry, I saw the first tweet and I haven't seen that correction yet. So that's what we know. So yeah, and there's other reporting saying that he was hit with a fire extinguisher in the head yesterday by a rioter/protester. Let me show you that. Hang on a second here.
I don't want to see that last name spelled out. Papathanassiou. How you spell that shit?
Alexandra Lyman with Nexstar Media says a source confirms a U.S. Capitol Police officer has been taken off life. Now I guess he's not technically dead yet, but it says after being hit in the head with a fire extinguisher by a rioter yesterday.
Damn.
So that's what she's hearing.
Oh shit.
That's not an official announcement. But again, everything we're hearing now, again, Bruce Leshan, who's a reporter for WUSA 9, says that the Capitol Police Union Chair said the officer's not passed away yet, but is on life support until his family can arrive. So that's that appears to be what's going on here. And that could explain, you know, some of the confusion here. So I'll let you know when we hear more on that, but that's the latest I have seen on what is
one bowl per person.
So that's one.
I'll smoke this whole bowl and pack another. Right?
Yeah, and certainly, you know, thoughts with
them pens right there. You cannot leave the cap off of those.
This? I'm pretty sure this is my Sharpie pen.
I'm pretty sure it's not.
I have a Sharpie pen just like this. And there's one single one.
Betsy DeVos has resigned. Betsy DeVos has resigned. Breaking news.
Pin cap off too.
One of our viewers just said, Betsy DeVos has resigned.
It was sitting there. They're not. They're more like markers.
Secretary of Education.
It's a Sharpie pen, I know.
Yeah, but it's more like a marker. You keep that
very
cap off.
It's She's the second cabinet secretary to resign.
Okay, I'm just telling you. I had to put the cap on yesterday. Like shit. I thought it was my shit.
Wow.
Now,
you know, she's been with him. Has she been there the whole time?
Huh? Yes, they do.
No, they don't.
Yeah, she's been the Secretary of Education since 2017. DeVos, not DeVos, Betsy DeVos.
That's why I thought that was mine.
She has been the Secretary of Education since the start of his administration, so she served the entire administration. This is from Rebecca Bowles. Betsy DeVos has resigned.
I'm confused because this is not
Deb
like the other
Lepore
ball
says, why are all these people
That's
resigning?
the only way that
It's a big question, so, you know, one could ask, like, oh, you're resigning now, but nothing President Trump did before would make you resign? Was this really the last straw? So, I can't say, I don't know, Mary Trump was on TV on CNN earlier tonight, and who's the president's niece, I believe, and she thinks, she believes cabinet secretaries are resigning so they aren't put in a place of having to 25th Amendment the president. So the 25th Amendment is where the vice president and the majority of cabinet secretaries say the president is incapable of carrying out his duties, and the vice president temporarily becomes president. So she thinks that. Look, another thing you might think is maybe there are cabinet secretaries, right, who feel that they have like the stench of Trump on them. They're now looking at their life beyond Trump, and they might figure, oh, well, I don't want to be, if I'm associated with him, that could hurt me in my future life. And now that this Capitol thing has happened, a lot of allies of Trump have gone away, so they might feel like there's less cost to being disloyal for Trump than before. So they might, some people who are resigning might think, oh, well, this way I can, claim that I was against Trump and have some separability from him. But it won't cost me as much because, he's not, because of what happened this week, he's not going to have as much power as he would have. I don't know. These are possibilities. Or maybe they genuinely supported Trump until yesterday, and suddenly when they saw yesterday, they saw, I can't support him anymore.
You ever had a Keith bowl?
It seems a little.
It's kind of like a faux bowl,
what happened
but instead of food,
totally
it's weed. Well, but that's not true because weed can be food too.
Would suddenly resign. So, personally, I would guess that other motives are also maybe in play, totally or somewhat. But I don't know. I can't speak for these people. So Betsy DeVos has resigned.
Tilt this a little bit.
She is the second cabinet secretary.
You don't have to tilt the lighter. If you put the flame there, when you pull, the air is going to pull the flame down into the thing by itself. Just put the flame like this, and then when you pull it, it'll suck it in there. You don't have to like tilt the lighter up.
Yeah. This is, here you go. So,
at a little angle.
Is there anything in the actual article about it? Yes, this is all it says. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos submitted her resignation to President Trump on Thursday night, saying the Capitol riot was an inflection point for her. That is from the Wall Street Journal.
So boom.
I don't know if there's anything else in
back in there. Pull hard.
And I'm guessing we'll see a statement soon. Rebecca Bauhaus says, Betsy DeVos says there is no mistaking.
Everybody swear down, you got to put the flame on that shit. You don't. If you pull that shit, that air's gonna fucking suck that flame into there. Then she hit that Keith bowl. Shit make it scalp itch.
So we now have two cabinet secretaries having resigned. Thank you, Aries Pure. Aries Pure, I haven't seen anything about an emergency situation near the Capitol. If I see something, I'll certainly let you know. But I haven't seen anything yet, at all. None of the local outlets are reporting it that I've seen yet.
Got all kind of
I'll
grinders,
certainly keep an eye out.
These ain't all. We got like
Thank you,
probably like
Aries
6, 7 grinders.
Thank you also.
Yeah, but you still
I
got your
appreciate
blue
your
one,
support.
and then I got
Thank
my
you,
camo
Steve
one,
Green.
And then I got an old Bob Marley
Again, I
one.
haven't
Yeah, we
heard
got
about
7.
I gave one of my homegirls a grinder for a present. She's like, "Oh shit, you can never have too many grinders."
Yeah, one for the bedroom,
Now,
one
this
for the
is-
living room.
This
Happy
is
birthday, she said,
16
"You can't
minutes
have too
ago.
many
Shamari Stone says,
I'll never need
A
that until I
U.S.
got machine
Capitol
because I
police
always had
officer
one
just
grinding
told
that I
me
just carried
services and
everywhere. Now that I have
emergency
2, it's
area.
like, yeah.
Took me a
police
minute
holds
to
assault
realize,
rifles
like,
in search
Even
of-
with the rolling
Okay.
tray, I never had a
This I
rolling
had not
tray
seen.
until I got with you. You had a rolling tray, and then when I went to the studio,
Now, this has been going
both
on
the
for a while,
guys,
though. Look,
Choice don't really do it, but Ed
47
and
minutes ago,
James always had
Shamari
rolling
Stone
trays.
said, I'm outside
And
the
then,
U.S. Capitol.
and one day I
police
used
officer
James'
just
rolling
walked by
tray,
with a
and then he got
flashlight,
me that little
shined it in
Spider-Man
our
rolling
park,
tray, and was like,
Parkview
yo,
SUV
and ever
and
since
other
I've
parked
had it,
cars.
yo, I have not
Many
stopped
officers
using it.
holding assault
I
rifles
didn't know I
run down
needed that
Constitution
shit.
Avenue. An officer just told me you might want to clear the area.
I
So
swear,
this
he
was,
just got me a
I
little
mean,
mini one
but
'cause I
that first
complained that his
happened
was too big, so he
47
just got me
minutes
this
ago.
little tiny
That's
rolling tray, and I'm like,
47
yo,
minutes
that's all I
ago.
need.
And then 16 minutes ago,
And they're so cheap too.
he said a
Like,
police
this shit was
officer
probably the
just
small
told
one
me,
was
sir,
probably
this is
like
an
$5,
emergency
$6.
situation, clear the area. Police hold assault rifles and search.
It took me-
But, you know, this is
Took
not
me a
something
minute to
that just
realize that
happened
shit,
5
but-
minutes
You
ago.
know what I need to get today?
This has been
Some
going on
lights.
for about an
I
hour.
fucked all my lighters up yesterday when I spilled that stuff in my purse.
I got a
Jennifer
3-story
Tower
house.
must be the-
I need one of everything on each floor, yo.
I'm just listening to what they're telling me.
I'm not trying to walk
And they're directing
downstairs
this
or
woman
nothing.
to go elsewhere. Sir, can I go that way?
I said, I'm not trying to walk upstairs or downstairs for shit, yo. If I'm on the first floor, I need everything on the first floor. I got a,
But no, I'm saying like for downstairs,
the
we
studio
got
ashtray in there.
we got 2 up here, and then I got one on my side. You got one on your side, but I feel like
And you only got one, yeah,
downstairs.
because sometimes I'll be sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I don't want to have to keep getting up.
Yeah, if I'm sitting in front of the
But
TV,
we need to learn how to pass the blunt.
I'm with NBC News 4.
I said we need to learn how to pass the
I
blunt.
swear, yo.
On second thought, though, no, thank you.
Shit, hit that shit, get dog slog on it.
Yes, be like, you know, I don't even want this shit no more. It's just stinking.
It's fish
Okay, that's
points.
from Shamari Stone. So, you know, I'll let you know if I hear anything more. I haven't seen anything more about this.
But-
Whatever they're looking for, they're
because it's like, why am I
looking
going?
for at least
Yeah.
like 50 minutes.
Right?
Because he first posted about this 49.
That's why I kind of put on clothes yesterday, just to say I got dresses like,
Well,
this
I'm
is our,
dressed
like,
today.
COVID is like this, yo. This has been COVID for months now. So sometimes I just I ain't do shit, man. I went to go get my oil change, but I put on some jeans and some boots that I barely wear, and I got a pair of nice ass polo boots. I wore them shit like one time in the past 9 months, 10 months. God, I don't go no fucking where. It's like, let me wear these boots today and put on a fucking
So
sweater.
again, Betsy DeVos.
And other than that, it's just like it's been sweats and fucking thermals and tees.
But the mall is open. We go to the mall today.
And my homie does have a new. He expanded his business, and he has a location. So he has a location at a mall in a sister city, and then he opened up a location in a mall in my city, and I gotta go see that shit, yo. I ain't been in that shit yet. I gotta go see his new spot, cause that's where, like, all of my hot shit, man, all my jeans, my sweaters, my hats, man, I get all that shit from him, yo. Like, I gotta go see what he got at the new spot, yo. And then I ain't gotta drive like 35 minutes to get to him. I can drive like 15 minutes to get to him now, 10 minutes, and be at his job.
Betsy DeVos has resigned. Here, Caitlin Collins says
No,
education
it's good.
I mean, I got the same shit as you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Secretary to the President Trump.
But you've been smoking more than I have the last couple of days too.
I have?
For once.
No, I haven't.
Babe, I only smoke like once per
Well,
day.
there were other cabinet secretaries.
Now
who
normally I smoke about 5-6 times
we
a day.
shall see. We'll talk about President Trump's video in a second. President Trump also posted a video where I don't know if concede is the right word. He basically said he was critical. It was all read off of teleprompter. So how I don't it doesn't seem particularly
because I was just like, yo, the defeat is real. Like, is today gonna be a bad day or what?
He started talking about how he thought
look at this
rioters
all from Indeed. All knows. No.
He didn't mention anything about the election being stolen.
Unfortunately, I'm like, said, damn, y'all all wrote me back on the same day.
He was
but I think it's like
filing their court
they were looking for seasonal holiday people, so it's like if you didn't get the holiday job, it's too late.
He said he would leave office.
But I was just like, damn, like 10 of them all at once. No. Like, all right, damn, what y'all looking like?
Not a peep about stolen elections. So it appears for the moment he's abandoning that. And talked about the country moving forward, but it was all read off of teleprompter. So we'll talk about that in a second. But
Steve don't like Trump, yo.
So, as to there's a lot of questions out there as to a lot of people are saying. I've seen a lot of different analysts. Also, his niece said they think something made him.
Yeah, Steve don't like Trump. He don't really try to talk shit about him unless it's absolutely like obvious that he's doing some or said some dumbass shit. And then he'll talk shit about Trump, but he try not to talk shit about him. And like I said, his channel is agenda-free TV, so he has no agenda. He doesn't really take sides. But you can tell, like Steve don't like Trump, yo. And he happy that motherfucker getting up out of there. I see a lot of people like that though, but he definitely not the only one. But
seem to be pretty happy and celebrating the storming of the Capitol. Certainly he did not significantly condemn it. And also yesterday, his videos were just full. The large majority of the social media posts during the riot situation were just restating the false claim that the election had been stolen. I have a hard time that all of a sudden he just gave that up in a day. But I mean, I just think so. Anyways, I don't think he suddenly has had a genuine 180 of turn of his actual.
Yeah, I got some good news to share with y'all too.
We'll talk about the video in a second.
Oh damn, I did just find it.
I be sucky ducky gonna go be a chance.
But again, that's the second cabinet secretary to resign today. 2 cabinet secretaries have resigned.
Oh damn, motherfuckers is out.
And
it's like, yo, I don't want to be the villain no more. I don't want to be the enemy of the state, yo. The people coming for us, man, they're gonna come with pitchforks and guns next time. I got a family to think about.
I'll say it one more again. Just seeing the fear on some of those people's faces, I hope it was a wake-up call for them that they need to start doing better, yo. Even though those people were out of pocket, and government officials, they need to wake the fuck up.
Y'all seen as the enemy.
Exactly. Y'all thought shit was sweet.
Y'all not the heroes and saviors. Y'all are the fucking enemy.
And we are not our grandparents. The fuck? I'm not my grandparents or my great-grandparents. I ain't for that shit that they went for. Fuck that. I got the internet. I read.
WUSA says that the Capitol Police Union chair says the officer has not passed away yet, but is still on.
They're gonna lose religion and lose a lot of power. And then people waking up, they're going to lose all their power.
There's reporting out there we showed you earlier that says he was injured yesterday when
Yo, I can't get over how heated Glennis was over that fucking mayor shit, yo. She was pissed. Mayor Cognetti, she better keep her shit together, because Chris, the guy who records my studio TV show, he already said the same thing, yo. The mayor said that she was going to give the TV station $130,000. Yo, $130,000 budget for the year, and then drop that shit down to $20,000. From $130,000 to $20,000. And we was like, what the fuck? And Chris said that for 12 weeks, he recorded her 30-minute weekly post for free every Friday. Didn't charge her anything to record her and edit her post and put that shit up on the local channel for free. And then she turn around and take all that money back out the television budget that she said out of her mouth to him.
Wait,
I wasn't there, but she said it out of her mouth.
Every Friday?
Every Friday for about 12 weeks, she does like just a weekly mayor's segment. And he recorded that shit for her and edited it.
So 12 free episodes she got. And editing and all of that.
And all of that. And then she take fucking...
And his drive time, his actual time, his equipment, anytime he was off from work, any potential clients he turned down, the money he could have made from that, like...
And then she takes over 100-something grand back from the TV budget. Like, we can't do shit with $20,000. It's like 5 or 6 people trying to run this shit.
And I mean, did she even offer a solution? Like, oh, we could try to do a fundraiser, we can do this, we can do that.
Chris said he wanted, and right then Chris was like, well, I'm not recording any more of her segments for her, period. And I'm telling her, I'm not recording any more of your segments. Either you're going to pay me per segment or you're going to give back that budget that you took from the TV station. You know, and I don't know the real details because hey, I'm just a talk show host. I don't be up in the meetings and listening to the financial reports and all that shit, man. But Chris ain't happy because, I mean, he dedicates so much time to that shit and don't get paid. And now the president of my organization, she's saying the same thing. Like, yo, she been putting all this time in trying to work with the mayor. At the end of the year, the mayor gave her end of the year wrap up or whatever and said everything that she accomplished and everything she was working towards and everything they got done, and didn't mention anything about the ethics community board, working with the black community, nothing about Black Scranton Project and all of the work that we've been supporting the mayor with and giving her, you know, our platform to speak on and shit too. She ain't mentioned none of that shit, yo. And then
so she was just looking for her own come up and then left y'all in the dust.
And yo, the president of my organization said she called the mayor and straight up questioned her about that shit. Yo, like, yo, why you ain't mention none of this other shit that we've been working on with you, personally with you, sitting in meetings with you, talking with you, to the chief police. And she was like, now I got a target on my back because I made myself so outspoken in the community, and you got people from Northeast PA going down to DC storming the fucking Capitol building. And she was like, how am I supposed to feel safe in my community, man, when y'all don't even, you really ain't trying to address the issues? What? Oh, do you want me to get you a police detail to patrol your neighborhood for you? She's like, no, that shit makes me feel even more unsafe.
Really?
She was like, that.
Really?
She's like, what
really,
do you want me to do? You want me to take you to the FBI? He's like,
really,
Glennon's like, oh, I don't want the FBI neither, bitch. She's like, you know what? I'm done.
Yes, I want the FBI standing over me every 5 seconds when I go outside.
What you want? You want a police patrol around?
Yes, when my black brother comes over, I want him to be harassed because he's black and being a male.
No, we want y'all to fucking acknowledge that there is a systemic racism problem in our police department. And we need to take real actions toward reforming and correcting these issues. And once again, you've seen buses and buses of people coming from this area going down to DC to storm the fucking Capitol building. So these people are here in this area, in these neighborhoods, in these communities. And those are real fucking issues.
Trashy.
I don't like both of them.
I want them both together, but I don't think I want it right here because it's like, I think that's kind of trashy. I kind of want to keep this plain.
I almost want it like two stars on my shoulders.
I like the stars, but I also really like
sun
the
and the
moon.
moon.
But I prefer the sun and the moon. And so this is gonna be Jackie. I'm gonna get Jackie over top, and I'm gonna get Krista right here because you know my sunshine thing with my grandma, and then the nighttime I feel like my mom was my protector. You feel me? So it's like my sun and my moon, my world. You feel me?
Yeah, you should get a turkey and a Christmas tree. Because the best eating is done between Thanksgiving and Christmas.
That's pretty hot, baby.
I'm going to get
what you gonna get?
An elephant head, yo. I'm going to shave my pubes and get an elephant head, like, tattooed right here. And then the trunk is going to, my dick going to be the trunk. Elephant trunk. Ooh, it's going to be my dick. And then just have the ears.
Y'all tell him it's too early.
Watch. I done seen that tattoo. I was like, that's a cool idea.
You know what was hot that I saw? This chick got like an octopus tattooed like right here, and then she had the tentacles like wrapping all around. That shit was hot. But it's like, do I really want something right here? I don't know. And is it gonna be trashy if I get something right here, babe? Because it's so cliche.
Yeah, that's the tramp stamp. I seen one dude had a Trump tattoo. That shit said Trump with some squiggly lines going around it and shit, some decorative shit. I was like, bro, how a grown ass man get a Trump tramp stamp?
Yo, no.
Yeah, I got a gift from my homie.
So we're not.
I don't know if his name is Marcus Effin something.
Suggests.
What's his name? What's his last name, yo? I know his name Marcus, yo, but he does these comic strips and they're so fucking good, yo. So good, yo. Marcus Effin Prime.
Here's a statement from CBC Break News Alert.
I don't know if that's his real last name, but and Effin is like, you know, fucking like Marcus fucking Prime. But he calls himself Marcus
F, baby.
Effin Prime. And he does this comic strip called Oh Nah. And he has like tons of these fucking characters like this, yo. Damn. Got the big dude with the dreads. Then he got the one chick, Boo, right? That's Boo right there, and her boyfriend. And then he got this one character, Mother Nature. He does a bunch of different shit, yo. But a lot of that shit is kind of like raunchy and explicit. And sexual, yo. Which is cool, like how he does that shit, yo. You gotta lick it before you stick it. And it's a stamp with a fucking eggplant on there. You gotta eat it before you beat it. You gotta skeet it. Then repeat it. And so he does like a bunch of little shit like that, yo. But he put together this adult coloring book. And my friend actually got me a copy for a gift. And so I'm gonna be coloring some pages out of here. It's like really, really explicit though. There's some
pages. He included everybody too.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that.
He says it here in the beginning. Disclaimer. If you use ink and markers, may bleed through. Put something under before you color. This book is for 18 and older. It is an inclusive book. It is a nasty book. So I said it's an inclusive book, and then when you start flipping through this shit, you're like, okay, oh, I see what you mean, bruh. I see just what you mean, bruh.
This is weird, but I like it. Maybe not the black, but just the colors underneath, the swirl. That's pretty. Yeah. It's a mess. As an artist, you say no.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? It's not blended right?
It just swirls of colors.
I like it. I mean, they like...
Yeah. This might be the first one I do right here.
I want to do that one. You ain't gonna do it. Oh, I want to do that one.
Yeah, there's some shit in this coloring book, yo. This is gonna be fun to color. But if y'all like shit like this, follow my man Marcus Effin Prime on Instagram. You can order his adult coloring book, Oh Nah. That shit looks pretty fun. And then I sold a painting yesterday. A painting I've had sitting around for a while. Kind of waiting for the client to come pick it up. It's been months now, and he never came for it. So I just put it up on Facebook for sale. And it already sold. Like, I just did it yesterday, and somebody asked for it yesterday, so. But he wants it in a frame. So I'm going to frame it, and then I'll be able to drop this shit off later today. I think that was my only errand for the day, but now we might go to the mall, too, or some other shit.
Everybody must be getting ready to go to work.
Yep.
I like this too, baby. I mean, not exactly that, but like, I like the sun. I don't really like the face on it particularly, but I like the blue and the yellow together though.
I like how they tried to do it. It seems like they could have meshed it a
if
little
they
bit
merged
better.
it a little better.
Yeah, that just doesn't seem like
I had one. Like this one I think is merged better. Maybe more like that, but with this
those
color
colors.
scheme.
Mm-hmm.
And then instead of getting two,
but that one has more detail in it too.
But he's an artist. Like he does graphics and stuff, like cartoons. So it's like he could come up with something. But I think maybe instead of getting the two. But I really like this moon.
Mm-hmm.
The sun I could do without. But yeah. But it's like, where should I get it?
Can I go out? Grab this. I hope it's right. Yep. I hope it's charged. Yep.
Oops, sorry.
That fucking. You gotta keep everything tight.
It's gonna hurt if I get this shit in my spine.
Alright.
On my leg.
So I'm gonna need. Here's. I don't know why I did it like that, but I kind of fucked that up. So let me get. I need to get 2 mounts and 6 screws, maybe. I need 2 mounts. Alright, there's 1 mount. Oh, here's a pack. I'll just open the pack instead of keep looking for these shits. Will those fit though? Maybe. These might work. Alright, so yeah. And the guy who bought this painting, he actually has purchased more art from me than anyone else. So he's paid for 7 paintings from me. 7. And some of them were normal price, but like 1 or 2 of them were really expensive. And I don't know, he sees something in my art and investing in it. And I told him like, yo, I'm not gonna stop this shit, yo. I'm not gonna ever stop painting, and I will make my name into something. So I guarantee you, as long as you take care of these paintings, one day they will be more valuable than whatever you paid for them, and I'm gonna make sure of that. I am going to make sure that my art is worth something for everyone who has ever bought one of my paintings. Like I said, that shit is going to be way more valuable than what you paid for it. That's the ultimate goal. You got a $800 painting, one day that shit going to be worth $80,000 just because I did it. You know what I'm saying? You brought an $8,000 painting from me, one day that shit going to be worth $800,000. Got that Travis Prince original. You know, he painted this shit back in like 2014.
Yeah.
Alright. So let's try to get this mounted properly.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't put a painting in a frame in a minute. I really don't do this shit no more.
Fun project.
Hmm?
I said you got a fun project.
Alright. Got one anchor. He got me he got me with the frame thing too. Like I said, I've been doing business with this guy for a long time, yo. I mean, years and years now. And I remember the second painting he bought. He said it had a price on it. He said, "Well, can you let me get it for this price instead?" He wanted a little bit off, and I'm like, all right, this is second piece he's buying from me. So I can make him a deal. I was like, cool, look, I'll sell it to you for the price you want, but I'm going to take the frame off of it. And I'll sell it to you for that price without the frame. And he was like, well, then I have to spend the money to get it framed myself. I was like, exactly. He was like, all right, I'll buy it for the price you want with the frame. I said, that's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. He's like, you're pretty good, young man, out negotiating a lawyer. Shit, I try my best. You know what I'm saying? Shit, that shit just makes sense, bro. And that's why I don't frame my larger paintings anymore, because I do tax the frame cost onto it, and people wonder why. And it's like, well, it's this price because it's framed already. Frames make the art look nice. You want to buy it without the frame? Fine, but then you're going to have to go frame it yourself. And you're going to spend the money on it anyway that I already spent on the frame. So it don't matter to me either way. I'll take the frame off and I'll use it to frame another piece and charge somebody else for that shit, or you buy the shit with the frame. And like I say, one person told me one time that was the only reason they didn't buy a painting. Oh, I would have bought it, but I didn't like the frame it was in. Bitch, I can take the frame off. That shit ain't permanent. You ain't had the bread for the paint and stuff, but just be honest with you. You ain't had the money for that paint. Because if you had the money for it, you would have just bought the shit, like I said, and changed the frame or asked for a lower price without the frame, just like anybody else would. All right, guys. And there you go. Frame and wired, ready to hang. You just throw a nail or a hook on the wall and bang, and put it right up, yo, for the low price. You know what I'm saying? The low price where Jesus Christ washes some feet while he outside.
Okay.
I can't help it sometimes.
I don't judge you.
So that's a sold painting, buddy. People like, do you sell your art? I'd be like, sometimes, hey, and sometimes I do. I just, hey, it was just, you know. And then this is a commission, so that's already bought and paid for. So we're kind of on the road for the 99 and the 2000.
We should be highlighting and celebrating your administration's many accomplishments, she says, on behalf of the American people. Instead, we are left to clean up the mess caused by violent protesters overrunning the U.S. Capitol in an attempt to undermine the people's business. That behavior was unconscionable for our country. There is no mistaking the impact your rhetoric had on the situation. It was the inflection point for me. Impressionable children are watching all of this, and they are learning from us. I believe
they started opening earlier again.
to
Weren't they
exercise
opening
good
only
judgment
at
and
like
model
8
the
o'clock?
behavior we hope they would emulate. They must know that from us that America is greater than what transpired yesterday. To that end, today I resigned from my position effective Friday, January 8th, in support of the oath I took to our Constitution, our people, and our freedom. Apparently, she doesn't think anything else Trump did was really bad, made a really bad impression on children.
There was a girl there this morning with a boot on.
She seems to argue that the big thing with her was the bad impression that yesterday left on children. But I guess there's nothing really bad, no other really bad impressions he thought that President Trump's behavior left on children the rest of the 4 years.
That's all I've been doing, legs workout, leg workouts.
Next time I go, I might do some upper body or do some core exercises because my tummy's getting kind of soggy.
You just been eating good, babe. That's all.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, thanks by the way to Gunter.
Oh, I had bought another book too, yo. I had got a book from Naeem Akbar, Breaking the Chains of.
Very much appreciated. Thank you, and also thank you to
Breaking the Psychological.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Much appreciated.
The Psychological Chains of Mental Slavery or something.
No, that's not having an agenda.
Naeem Akbar, Breaking the. I can't.
And never
Let me go get the book.
And then all of a sudden today says, well, what you did yesterday makes a really bad impression on children. To say that seems a little odd, that's not having an agenda. That's just looking at the facts. There's all kinds of behavior, to me, that is just stuff that if you care, an average person would say, well, that doesn't make a good impression on children either. So it seems odd to, I just think to a reasonable person, it would seem like kind of odd to all of a sudden say, well, I'm resigning now because of the impression your behavior yesterday had on children. Seems a little strange to me. That's not having an agenda. That's just acknowledging that he has conducted lots of other behavior which would seem to have a bad impression on children as well over the last 4 years. So that's not having an agenda. That's just what a reaction a reasonable person would have. There's no bias that's causing him to have that thing. That's just
What up? Good morning, guys. So
13 people have been arrested so far.
13 of them got arrested.
13.
I got a new book. It's a fairly thin book, not a long read. It's 68 pages. But it's by Naeem Akbar, PhD. The title is Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. So, and he's a psychologist. And so, I'm not a psychologist, but psychology is very, very interesting to me, especially when it comes from an African-American perspective. My bad, yo, I'm on the 3rd floor. I just, ran downstairs and ran back upstairs. Whew. But yeah, so once again, you don't have to be a psychologist to read books written by psychologists and to understand, a fundamental level of psychology and how the mind works, how individuals act pertaining to their environment, how individuals act one to the other, how individuals act within a group setting, how groups act within a larger setting, and things like that. And it's all psychological, And so, um, anytime I can get a African American um, who has written anything about psychiatry, psychology, sociology. Uh, I try to get their material because the more you know, it's just the better you are, and especially when it comes from our own perspective, because we can hear other people try to describe us, our plights and situations from their perspective, and it won't exactly resonate true because you know uh, each each culture has its own history, which shapes its present identity. So when you hear um, psychological studies from someone within your own culture who has experienced life the same way you has, it makes for a better and more clear understanding of the material that's being presented, if that makes sense. Because I just understand shit better when black people tell it to me, basically, is what I'm trying to say. So I'll be reading that book soon. Like I said, I had this painting for a while. It was a weird deal between me and a contractor. A contractor did some work on my house after I had severe damage due to a storm. Like my ceiling was leaking and cracking, and like the plaster was falling down, and the shingles blew off the roof, and it was bad, yo. And so he did this work on my house for me, and by him assessing the damage, he had to walk through the house and see what was wrong inside, what was wrong outside, and he noticed my artwork. And so he said, instead of paying him money for the repairs that he had done on the house, he would like to have a painting done. I'm like, you got yourself a deal. I can just paint you something and that'd be payment. He's like, yeah. I was like, what do you want? What you want? He's like, I want a picture of Jesus washing someone's feet, but I want it to be from the perspective of the person getting their foot washed. So as you don't see that person, you're looking through their eyes in a first person view, and you as if it is your foot that he is washing, as if you're looking down on your own foot. And that is the perspective that he wanted. And I'm like, that sounds like a pretty cool idea. I'm not religious by any means. I don't believe in Jesus. uh, I don't believe in a son of God and a virgin birth and all of that shit. I don't think that happened. But I was like, this sounds like it's some cool imagery, especially for the religious folks. And so I had a photographer friend of mine take a photo for me because I didn't have the resources or models for the photograph. So I just paid her to do it for me. So she got me a reference source. And so this is the piece that I created from it. And in the reference photo, like they were actually outside in the woods, and I kind of like made this pillared. That's your stomach? Wow. I thought you just had them cereal or something, right? No?
I didn't eat all of them.
So they were outside, but I made like this stone walkway, this pillared walkway with the shadows and everything. So the background is all like my imagination. And so when the piece was done, I sent him a picture and I said, "Hey, your painting's done." He was like, "Oh, cool, that's what's up." I said, "Come get it whenever." He was like, "All right, I'll let you know." And then like a couple weeks passed, and I texted him again, and I was like, "Hey, bro, don't forget, yo, your painting is done. You can come get it whenever you want it." And he never texts back, yo. And this was like months and months ago now, and now I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know why he never came back and got this piece. And so yesterday I was like, I basically posted a picture of it on Facebook, and I said, "Hey, a client abandoned this painting. If you're interested in it, just inbox me, and I'll give you a price on it." And so, like I say, a guy he's my real major collector. Like this guy, he owns a lot of my art, and he hit me up. He was like, "Yo, this looks like a perfect gift for my mom. How much you want for it?" So I gave him a price. He was like, "All right, let me talk to my wife real quick, see what's up." Then he was like, "Is it framed?" I'm like, "Nah." He's like, "You put it in the frame, I'll buy that shit." I was like, "Bro, I'll frame it up and have it ready for you tomorrow." He was like, "Sold." So, after this piece sitting around for months, and it's like it was a double come up for me, yo.
I told you that.
Yeah, because I got my roof.
I mean, you still had to do the work, but now you were able to sell it. So
yeah, but I got paid twice off of this shit, yo. Well, I got work done for the painting.
Right.
And then
you did an exchange, and then you got something for free.
Yeah, and then I got my roof fixed for free, basically, and still got money. See, it was supposed to be an exchange, but I didn't get, I give him the painting, he do the work. That would have been an even exchange. Now it's like I got the work done, and I still have the painting, and then I sold the painting and got money for the shit. So it's like, it's a double fucking come up, yo. And that's the thing too, like, I already see, like, with me, I'm just gonna contact you so many times about your art, yo, and if you don't come get that shit, yo, selling that shit to somebody else, man.
Yeah, 4 to 6 months later, you don't want that. If it's been 3 months,
So that's in the bag. It's all signed, sealed. Yeah, it's sealed, varnished, wired, framed. That shit is ready to go. Paid for. So that's a little guaranteed payday right there. Like I said, I'm gonna continue to work on this piece. So I get this done, get the payday off of that. Actually got some new equipment for the studio.
Look at the box though. I'm really pissed off.
Yeah, I'm mad about that.
And the other thing I ordered, the box was messed up on too. And I'll let them know about that shit.
Sometimes I will do a dual stream where I'll use my PlayStation camera and my phone to stream two different platforms at one time. So this is the little riggy dig I did for the PlayStation camera. This is basically a car phone holder, and I just got it. These are actually like fucking zip ties. So I just zip tied it to my tripod, and so I can put my camera on here and hold the camera so I record. But let's say if I want to do 2 streams at one time, it's kind of hard to get both cameras to balance on that shit, because you can lock one in and then have the other camera like balance on the top, but it never really works that well. So I figured I'll just get me a second setup, and it comes in 2 pieces. It comes in 3 pieces. There's a little bag of some shit. This and this. And then we got some instructions. Instructional manual. It's just mostly pictures. Flexible shifting arm, 360 degree rotating ball head, board compatibility. Let's see. So if we take the arm out the bag, Man, that's really stiff.
Well, damn. Look that stiff in the picture.
Wow. I like it though. It's like once you set that bitch, you know that shit ain't gonna fucking move. Yo, J1. Yo, I'm feeling good, bro. Got a doctor's appointment on Monday. I'll probably be back to work on Tuesday. Alright.
How lucky did you get though that you don't have to go back till Tuesday now?
I know, right?
Or I guess I should say I'm lucky.
And this right here.
This don't taste like strawberry to me. It tastes like white chocolate.
What?
Or like that ruby chocolate that's pink.
Yo, try to bend this thing. That shit kind of hard, ain't it? I'm telling you, that shit's stiff as shit.
Yeah.
I like it though.
I'm glad you like it.
Alright, and then if I can take this thingamajiggy, and where would be a good spot for it though? Because I can put it. Oh, those are like wired clips. If you have your charger or something connected, you put your charger to that. But if I take this, oh, that's what's up, yeah, bro. I can't wait, bro. I said I've been making half pay for 12 weeks, but that shit been rough.
But look how you start the new year off though.
Huh? Yeah. Hey, that's why.
They start the new year off right.
Hey, that's why I'll never really be stressing shit, man. Just go with the flow. Shit'll work out, man.
Yeah.
Shit'll work out. As soon as you start stressing, that's when shit get real bad. See, if I do it in front, then that'll be I can't do it with the laptop like that. So
I think we just need to take a couple days next week or before you go on. And you about to go back to work, but a weekend and just kind of reorganize and put some shelves up, like downstairs and in here.
I can do it this way.
And make your life easier.
Yo, J1 said what?
What's good, J1?
Alright. Ballin'.
I feel like people be switching their names sometimes. I can't keep up.
Well, okay, I guess. Let's see. See, cause I got the fucking, this shit right here is built onto my case. The fucking grippy thing, like that shit is built onto it. So I think I may have to like take my phone case off. No, it has a, I don't know. It don't look like it's gonna hold it tight with that phone case on there. Because this shit is kind of fat because it's like that. Let me see. I know, you got it. Alright. And then
everything hopefully will be a little better after the 21st. Also on the 21st.
But then it's just like that, I can't read messages. Let me see.
I might gotta run out and get some hair dye.
Hair dye.
Yeah, I mean my hair is still the same color, but you know when I dyed it, it had like that purple tint to it.
Mm-hmm.
And after so long, any type of red or purple is gonna wash out. So my hair is just like brown and red and black. I don't know. Just need to put that purple tint back on it.
I guess it'd be alright like that. But then, because like, you gotta have it up high to read the screen if there's comments or whatever.
Talk about when Trump gets out. It didn't even register. I'm like, what's the 21st?
Yeah. I don't know, man. So this is the thing, like.
I mean, I'm not excited for Biden either.
Yeah, when was the last good president? Because we say that shit with each president, yo. Oh, things will be better when Clinton get out of office. Then we get Bush. Oh, things will be better when Bush get out of office. And then we get Obama. Oh, things will be better when Obama get out of office. Then we get Trump. That shit don't get better, man. Shit
we go get Biden and shit just gonna be
and then by the end of Biden's
another Republican
motherfuckers gonna be hating Biden, be like, fuck, I can't wait till this fucking dickhead get out of office.
And the Republicans gonna be like, the Dems won, we need our win. It always goes back and forth.
Back and forth, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. Like, this shit is
But this is one of the first times that shit happened like this, though. Normally people get the 8 years, yo.
And that's because, like, I really, 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 really think Trump is not a part of the establishment, yo. Like, all these other presidents, man, like Obama being a lawyer and this motherfucker getting groomed by George Soros and all these motherfuckers and goddamn.
Even his own grandfather, Obama's grandfather was cool with
the old motherfucking name, not Brzezinski, but the one other motherfucker already was endorsing Obama but when he was just still in Chicago and shit.
As long as you know that Biden ain't a better choice, I'm cool. I'm cool. As long as y'all know that, because I don't think Trump is the best choice either.
Yeah.
But
that's what I said. Things ain't gonna get better after Trump get out the office. Shit just go be on some more weird ass shit with another dude just being a fucking puppet head, a puppet figure for the goddamn government, yo.
Where's that from? Made in China. Never mind.
Yeah, everything.
That's called the Lazy Phone Stand. That's such a cute name. That's why I had to ask. Like, yo, that's just cute and simple.
Once again, everything made in China, yo. We don't make shit, yo. I dare you to pick up anything in your house that takes any kind of power, even if it's just batteries. If you got to put batteries in it, or if you got to plug that shit into an outlet, look on it and see where it's made at, yo.
We don't like her either.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
but that's the thing. People gotta realize, like, yo, okay, who cares that she's black, yo? If she's not a good pick, she's not a good pick.
Yeah.
I don't care if she's 100%, 50%, 20%. If she's not a good pick, she's not a good pick.
And then she about to be on some other shit because they gonna try to make her the president, yo. Mark my words, yo. They gonna try to make Camilla.
Yeah, Biden hurt his ankle playing with the dog. That was the first
Biden
thing.
gonna have a stroke or a heart attack or some shit. He gonna be laid up some way in ICU, and Camilla gonna have to step in as acting president, and she's gonna be the first Black American African American female president. Yo, watch.
But that's the thing is, like, all the men and all the white people in the world, will she get a second term? I think they're gonna wait until they're going to let him get his 4 years and then do it on the second time, because otherwise the Dems aren't going to get their full 8 years, because them white men are not going to vote for a woman, let alone a black woman.
No, look, man. Biden going to do 1 year, Camilla going to do 3 years, and then after that shit, we just going to vote Trump back in office.
I mean, I don't know what she is, but let's just say a person of color, you know, whatever.
She's Indian and Haitian.
I mean, Haitians don't think they're, like, black, I guess.
No, that's the thing. African American. We all are of African descent, but she's saying she's African American when you're not. You're Haitian American.
So let me say this then. So I mean, I'm just asking.
Father 93, what's up, bro? What's good, my nigga?
What makes you black? Only being American? Because I mean, I know when Africans come over here, they just call themselves whatever they are.
Well, they don't
really call themselves black.
There's this other term called fundamental Black Americans.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like black is just like if you're black in America.
No, see, a fundamental Black American is the descendants of slaves, the people who feel like we deserve reparations for going through slavery. If your family was never slaves in America, that's the thing. Like, if you were slaves in the Caribbean, in the Bahamas, in Jamaica, wherever, that's, you fight for your rights from that point of view. You know what I'm saying?
But she's trying to make it seem like she's
making it seem like she's a fundamental Black American, and you're not. Your parents aren't descendant of Southern slaves from cotton and tobacco plantations. They're not. You know, I'm a fundamental Black American. My family comes from the fucking slave trade here in America.
That's the thing, though. I don't like her, but let me say this, right? I'm black. My father is black. I got a brother that's darker than you, and then look how light I am. You know what I'm saying? And I know everything about my white side. I don't talk to my father, so I don't even know. Like, I've heard his mother say that, you know, her grandmother was a slave. I've heard her say that, but, like, you know what I mean? I don't even know if my black family came from slaves or where they came from.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as I know, my father and his mother were born in Maryland.
Yeah.
And his father was born in California. Like, I don't know if their parents were slaves or where they. I know.
But Maryland was a major hub for runaway slaves too. That's where fucking Frederick Douglass landed at, yo. When he ran away from the South, yo.
No, but well, we were talking about like politics and stuff, but then we were saying how like Kamala keeps trying to say how she's a black American and what makes you, you know,
Oh
black.
yeah, that's it. That's what we were saying.
Yeah.
But
But yeah, that's what I was just saying. Like for me, like I do feel like if you're here in America and you're black, you probably had somebody who came from slavery more than likely. But it's like I just can't say for sure because I just don't know. Like I can't even tell you what tribe, you know, they came from. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know.
But that's the thing too, like that's a part of her character. So that's what we should judge these people on, because all the legislation she did when she was in California, locking up all these motherfuckers for minor non-violent offenses, and then she tells stories about how she used to smoke pot in college and all that shit. But then you're trying to portray yourself as something you're not, to pander to the black community in order to win that vote over. You know what I'm saying? And that's her character, to put on a facade, to put on a front, to play a part. And don't play a fucking part. Be yourself 100%. You know what I'm saying? Say you're Haitian American and Indian and not African American if that's who you really are. You might as well be like what's the one white chick who said she was black for the NAACP? Rachel Redozo or something. Like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Be proud of who the fuck you are. That's the whole thing. Be 100% in who you are, and don't try to portray yourself to a group of people as if you're one of them just to get their fucking votes to be in the presidency. But that's the thing too. Once again, like that, my whole thing is with this. The end of racism and the Democratic Party, when they get control, they always try to use these ethnic and racial issues to stand on, because the Democratic Party is the party for the African Americans and we fight for you. We always have you in our best interest, and it's not always true. You know what I'm saying? Even with Obama, how they played his whole campaign out, and what did he really achieve? What did he accomplish? You know what I'm saying? Never talked about reparations, which is, I feel like, is the ultimate issue in the wealth gap pertaining to the African American community. And we had somebody who was set up as the first African American president, but was he really? You know what I'm saying? If you're biracial, be proud of who you are and acknowledge both aspects of your heritage. Don't say that you're one thing when you're not that, and then you run on that platform to get this particular block of votes, and you win those votes, and then don't do anything for that group of people. That's the character that these people have. So yeah, when you want to talk about character, it's not about skin color, but don't try to play a certain group of people based on skin color and try to get in favorite with them, and then don't do shit for them.
I mean, the black Trump supporters, they're gonna do what they're gonna do. I feel like I don't care who's in office. I'm not going out there for nobody acting a damn fool like that. Sorry, I'm good on it. But more power to them, I guess. I don't know. They want to go to jail. I don't know. That shit is crazy to me. Like I said, like people supporting him is one thing, but going all out and putting the flags up and going to the marches and shit, it's a bit much for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I get it. You know, I kind of get it. If you feel like, I don't know.
I also feel like people are trying to like take their power back too. So it's just like, don't be that black person out there doing that shit. No one ain't shooting people. You gonna get shot first being black. I'm sorry, like it's just the truth, yo. I think people just forget. They go into like this Candace Owens mindset, and they just think they're like they're gonna protect me. They're gonna make a circle around me. Like, no, this is not a BLM march right now. And even them, they were shooting that shit up. So it's just like, I don't know. If y'all feel like y'all want to storm that shit. Use your rights. But don't go in there when people are doing some dumb shit, basically. Like, don't use that as your moment to go want to be somebody and be seen. So, hey, if they get locked up, that's on their dumbasses. That's how I feel.
Mm-hmm. There's extremists in all groups, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And that's not all Trump supporters. And some Trump supporters, like the one dude, like, these motherfucking crackers are out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some white people
he
ain't with the shit. He
talked about both sides. He talked about Black Lives Matter, and he talked about how people were trying to use that and all of that.
Yeah. And then, yeah, like you said, with reparations, bro, like the banker bailout in 08, you know what I'm saying? They kicked out trillions of dollars in 08 for the banker bailout. And then in 2015, there was like another little bailout.
Facts.
And now we done had 2 stimulus bailouts. So how come over the years, you know, we could have been doing this for the past 40 years or 50 years, each year, giving so much money to the African Americans to help pay off reparations. But, you know, every time something happens, you know, that affects the white people too, like, oh, we got to find money, and it just pops up out of nowhere. You know, money just comes out of nowhere, $900 billion. Just like, here you go. You know what I'm saying? Like that banker bailout in 08, that shit was crazy. That shit was like
but then it's still
$2.3 trillion or something. They pulled out like out of nowhere, $2.3 trillion. Like, goddamn.
How they gonna do the breakdown? Is it gonna be like, oh, if your grandmom was a slave, then you get this, but if your great grandmom, you only get this? Like, how's it gonna break down?
And that's the thing, like,
and we have to be like, okay, so I'm mixed, so it'd be like, okay, you're 50%, it don't count, but if you're more than 50%, then it counts. Like, where's the line?
And that's the thing. We as a community need to come up with our own legislation. We shouldn't allow the government to decide that shit for us. We need to come up with a reparations reform package, a wealth building economic platform package, and pass it off to the government and say, this is what we want, and this is how much it's going to cost you.
And
but
again,
we need committees and councils to
give us
help
some damn
regulate.
Free education.
That's the thing.
Give me an 800 credit score. It's already 7-something. Give me an 800 credit score and give me some free education. Give me a 5 or a 10-year span to go do anything you want to do. You only gotta give me no money, but they should do that shit.
When that shit happened with Katrina, you know what I'm saying? And then Trump bragged about that, like, oh, that's why he didn't help Puerto Rico out. He was like, oh, when Katrina happened, we had hundreds of victims and loss of lives, and you guys only had like 16 people die. But Trump, when Katrina happened, FEMA didn't really try to help out the motherfucking survivors after that shit, yo. And you had the fucking the trailers with the goddamn Chinese sheetrock getting asbestos and mold in there, making people sick. You had motherfuckers housed up in the goddamn in the stadium, dying, sleeping next to dead bodies and shit, man. That shit was crazy as fuck, yo.
Which makes you question their motives and exactly what the fuck they're up to, yo. I mean, natural disasters happen, of course, but...
Oh yeah, they get rid of old bills every day, yo. And we're quickly moving towards digital currency. You know, a paperless currency where there won't be physical money anymore. And then once, it'll be a generation or two when we get that shit really ingrained in us where people don't, and then this pandemic and oh, money's nasty and you can't touch money. And so once all money becomes digital, that's when they can really cut your shit off, bro. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that motherfucker just hitting the switch somewhere, boop, and you just don't have access to shit. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, there's some weird shit coming, man. And so once again, I understand why these people are storming the Capitol building. They feel like, you know, their way of life, their liberty and freedoms are under attack. They've been lied to and manipulated by the government and the media, and they're going to take out their aggression on who they feel is the aggressor. And they took it directly to the people who they thought were the threat, who were the enemy. You know what I'm saying? And I agree with that shit wholeheartedly. Am I going to participate? I don't feel like it's a movement for me to be in. Now, if there is ever any kind of movement that I feel like, oh, this is the big one, I'm willing to risk my life for this shit. I might partake in that shit. But some shit like this, like, nah, y'all got that one. Y'all can have that. Y'all trying to do what? With who? For what reasons? Nah, I'm good. I'm good. And then, oh, they shot somebody. Hey, it's a revolution, motherfucker. That's what happened. People gonna die. I don't feel bad about that shit. Did Trump tell them to, or did he insinuate, or did he kind of hint on what they should do? Maybe, maybe. Did he say, hey, let's storm this building and lynch these motherfuckers? I don't think that was the exact words that he used. So, I mean, can you really say that, oh, he told them to do that? I don't know. That's kind of questionable. But was there like some slight innuendos made of, we're not going to give up this fight because they stole the election? It's, gets in that gray zone when you come to them words, man. Yeah, what 21 looking like for me is another prosperous year, bro. I mean, for our people, I hope this is I mean, we've had so much visual evidence of two Americas, of two different systems, two different government systems, two different judicial systems, two different policing systems, and we just have consistently have more visual documentation of two different Americas. So if this doesn't help wake up everybody in this country, then I don't know. As a whole, I just hope that our people continue to wake up and educate ourselves and try to build a common unity, a community amongst ourselves. We need a common unity. That's why all these motherfuckers were able to storm the Capitol building and get up in there, thousands of people, but only 5 people died because they had a common unity. So that's what I hope in 21 for my people, for us to continue to build our community. And for me as an individual, but it's the first week in the year. I'm working on a commission right now. This is already a full paid for commission. I just sold another painting, and we just had a meeting with some government officials, and like my year is starting off nice. So I'm just gonna be this great artist that I know I am, like year in and year out. So, what you got planned for this year, babe?
Dropping this project. That's the most important thing, because I've been making this music, but I've been being stingy and keeping it in the vault. So it's finally time to drop some shit, and drop some shit since Ganja. So I'm excited to drop this project, hopefully this upcoming week. And my birthday's on Monday. That's a little bit exciting. 2021 is just a continuation of 2020, really. I mean, I don't think shit is going to change. I don't think COVID's going anywhere or any of that, but I'm just trying to work on this music, and then I'm actually trying to get these permits and get everything started so I could do a food truck. With COVID, everything is like slowed the hell down, but the one thing that's still popping is food. So we've been working on these ideas on what we want to do, and I guess the location and all that shit. So hopefully by the end of 2021 we'll have that shit out. Thank you.
Yo, if y'all don't know who Father is, yo, check out my Instagram, yo. I paint Father a lot, yo. Very handsome young man, very, very creative young brother, yo. He's a photographer. His imagery is just It's so black. It's so beautiful, yo. I can't. It's just black and beautiful, man. Check him out on Instagram, Father93 Until. If you like just beautiful black shit, yo, that's all he make, yo. And when I first seen his imagery, I was captivated by that shit, yo. And so we worked together on a lot of projects. Still just waiting on the right person to see that shit, yo, because we got several collaborations between his photography and my paintings, but nobody really. I get a lot of positive feedback, but somebody gonna buy one of them shits one day, and then soon as somebody buy that first one, it's gonna be that trickle effect, yo.
Social media always banning somebody.
Facts, man. I got fuck my shit up. Is this it? What up? Snoop Dogg. That's father right there. That motherfucker got black features, bro. Look at that nose and them lips. That's a nigga right there.
Hey, yo.
If I ain't never seen a black man before, god damn, you describe a black man, boy. Motherfucker got them dreads too. Got them African features. Definitely a black man. You look at that's a black man right there. You about one of what? One of the paintings I did of father, bro. Them shit is expensive, bro. Cause his shit is just like, you know what I'm saying. And then when I paint that shit, it's just like, so them paintings I do with our shit, them shits ain't cheap, bro. That's why they ain't really sell yet. But like I say, somebody gonna buy one of them shits. Like the smallest one, man, probably sell that shit for like $1,100, man. You got $1,100? Cause this, I gotta get him his cut too. You know what I'm saying? Them shits ain't cheap, bro. Them shits not cheap, homie.
Snoop is me being nice.
That's what's up, yo. At least I remind you of a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I remind you of your neighbor or your cousin, I would be insulted. But if I remind you of Snoop Dogg, shit, yo, that's a positive compliment for me. What's my goal with YouTube? I don't know, man. I've been thinking about that for a while because I had my YouTube channel for years, bro, and I've barely broken 1,000 subscribers. But I think I want to actually change the content or how I display my content on YouTube. I think I may start doing more concise 30-minute videos with some talking and some time-lapse art to get more viewers, because I do a long format live stream and it's kind of weird watching my live stream in past tense. So it's only enjoyable if you're in here now and can be part of the conversation. But I think I want to make shorter videos for people who don't want to sit through an entire live stream and chat with us for 2 and 3 hours. And it's not monetized, so I don't know. I think if I monetize the channel, I would feel compelled to do like more concise edited videos, and I'm not good at that. And that's the thing, like I would want to expand my channel and grow it, but I would need somebody to help like doing editing and recording, because that takes away from me painting. You know, I just want to be the artist, man. I just need to paint. I just want to paint and then let somebody else do all the other shit. I missed the comment. Where's my phone? Yeah. Gotta pull it back. Pull up my YouTube channel.
Baby, this is my phone. Where's your phone, babe?
Yeah.
You're like, pull it back up. 19 time machine. Yeah. Definitely the time lapse is like on the up and up. Cause I know I'm about to make me a time lapse later. I don't like the fact though when I type in shopping malls, it's bringing up shopping plazas. This is not a mall. Might be considered.
Oh, word. Damn right. We'll do a photo shoot with you, bro. Hell yeah.
For sure, for sure.
Been waiting on that shit. He was here last year. He was in Philly for a couple of days, but didn't have enough time to swing out here. He asked how close, but I'm not close to Philly though. People like, oh, I'll be in Philly. Like, that's cool, but Philly's like 2.5 hours from where I'm so far north. I'm northeast PA, bro. Like, we way up north, yo. That shit crazy. Way, way up north. But damn right. Whenever you're in the area, shit, you can crash here, bro. Do some photo shoots. This man be everywhere. New York, Cali, Georgia. All right. So I actually do want to paint for a little while, guys. We've been here for an hour and a half. Like I say, it's just that I'm working on the commission. I would sit here and run my mouth for another hour, but gotta get this commission done. Gotta work on this shit and get this money. So I may pass the laptop to the DJ.
The DJ was about to go DJ some breakfast though.
All right, go do that.
No, give me the laptop first. I'll put something on.
No, I'm gonna listen to Steve Lookner while you go cook breakfast. When you come back, we'll listen to something else.
Okay. What do we want to eat?
I don't care. I'll eat waffles and eggs or something. I don't care.
Got her done good. Waffles? That means I gotta go all the way in the basement.
There's not waffles in the freezer?
How about toast and fried eggs again? You want scrambled eggs?
No, fried eggs.
Oh, update. Shamari Stone. A police officer has just walked back up to me and said everything has opened back up, all is clear. Okay?
That's it?
So,
in there.
it looked like they were
some kielbasa.
searching for something in D.C. near the Capitol, or there was some heightened alert. But a police officer just walked back up to me and said everything has opened up. All has opened
Time
back
will
up,
tell
all
all,
is clear.
says
That's
Snoop,
from
I love
Shamari
you.
Stone.
Time will tell all about what?
They said, Snoop, I love you.
Okay. Motherfuckers swear down and look like Snoop. I don't see that shit, yo.
You do not look like Snoop Dogg. And Snoop Dogg is bony as hell.
Washington Post reporting about Betsy DeVos resigning as education secretary.
Snoop, I love you. This thing, yeah. That's the thing though. Like I get that Snoop shit all the time. Like.
In recent days, though, even as Trump disputed the election results, she acknowledged that Joe Biden had defeated him.
Like, do I really? Bro, do I really look like fucking Snoop? Like, really? Like, come on, man. This motherfucker, too. Not you, too, bro. Oh, my fucking God, bro. This Bobby Brown looking motherfucker.
Where is he getting that?
This nigga.
Eleanor McCants Katz.
This motherfucker's like, yeah, I can see it now. Whatever, bro.
Where is he getting that information?
Yeah, whatever. It's all good, but like I said, for years, people, this shit is just like, I guess I look like, I don't see it, but like dozens of people like, yo, what's up, Uncle Snoop? Oh, I didn't know Snoop Dogg can paint. Damn, Snoop, you're a painter now? And it's like, come on, Bobby Brown, stop playing, nigga. Yeah.
I'll let you know.
Looking like new edition, nigga. Yeah. You talking about? Yeah, I can see it now. This motherfucker look like looking like a young Bobby Brown. It's my prerogative. Don't start that shit, nigga. See, some of these motherfuckers I can't trip at because I don't know what the fuck they look like. You, nigga, I know what the fuck you look like, nigga. Don't start that shit. Start that shit, nigga. I got pictures of you, homie. That's what be killing me when some niggas come in, oh, your forehead this big and all that shit. Y'all laughing because I can't see y'all niggas, though. That's funny.
It's frozen. You gonna wait on it or you gonna eat this?
Thanks, by the way, to Patty Nielsen and Cover Me 2011. I really
It's
appreciate
turkey.
Patty
I'll
Nielsen,
eat the turkey.
Cover Me 2011. Thank you.
I can thaw it out real quick as long as you're gonna wait a couple more minutes.
Just cook the turkey before it go bad. You gotta eat the shit anyway. You just not gonna eat it and you just throw it away or
The
whatever.
beef kielbasa is better.
Yeah,
than
finish the turkey kielbasa and then
Video viewer.
pull the other kielbasa up.
Okay, fine. Don't yell at me like that. Y'all see that?
I ain't yell.
Y'all see that? Y'all
used
see
to.
him raising
Give me
his
1
voice
minute,
at me?
Just 1 minute. I'll be right back in 1 minute. We'll continue.
All right, I'm going to cook. I'm just fucking with you.
Yeah. If you a black man with dreads, you either Snoop or Marley or Lil Wayne. Or Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's like, not Lil Wayne, yo. I remember I got this one job and motherfucker said I look like D Rose. I don't even know who the hell D Rose was. And then that same day I came home and I started streaming and then somebody popped in there like, yo, you look like D Rose. I had to Google this motherfucker. Who the fuck is D Rose? A basketball player. I do kind of look like that dude a little bit. A little bit. But Snoop, I don't see that shit, man. Lil Wayne, I really don't see that shit. You talk Trinidad James. You do look like Kendrick, yo. Y'all about the same size and everything too. Derrick Rose, I guess. I don't know. D Rose, motherfucker, like a basketball player. And it's like you look like this nigga named D Rose. I was like, all right, whatever, bro. You talking about? Let me find out you done went to his Instagram. I almost feel compelled to go pull up one of my paintings of father and show y'all like one of my favorite paintings of yo. The real big one, with you smoking a cigarette and sipping on the juice. I love that shit, yo. Gotta do another one. Motherfucker dread starting to get long too. Hey.
Okay, by the way,
I don't know how this man does it, but he has the ability to get a room full of women butt ass naked.
Another resignation.
I ain't talking about like 2 or 3 women. I'm talking about a room full of women. I'm talking about 10 women naked. Can you do that? Can y'all do it? Can you walk in a room full of women and say everybody get butt naked and they do that shit? You can't. I can't do that shit. I get like 1 or 2 maybe, but a whole room full of women, beautiful women, everybody take your clothes off. And they be like, okay, it's a superpower. Motherfucker got a superpower. He got to get butt naked superpowers, yo. I wish I had that ability. I keep that shit hanging on my wall, bro. That shit on the wall in the that's when I don't really take down. Oh, I know who you talk about now. Yeah, Puff. All is about to make each other famous, yo. I got a small group, a small, tight circle. Photographers, painters, musicians, beat makers. We all about to come up some kind of way. One way or the other. I'm a bad motherfucker, yo. Yo, this still one of my favorite paintings, yo. This shit motherfucking hot, yo. Oh yeah. Nah, thank you. They said we on the motherfucking come up. I saying somebody they want to buy some of them. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. Don't do that. Don't fuck it up. No, I'm saying, hey. Hmm. Interesting. I'm gonna watch out for this guy right here. Yo, keep an eye on that guy. Right. Yeah, you say you're interested in buying some art? Hey, there go a piece right there. You know what I'm saying? It's a motherfucking masterpiece. Yeah, holla at me if you want it. Yeah. Let's watch this guy. Cause you've ever read Mark Twain's Huckleberry Finn? There's some language in that story. Alright, procrastinate long enough. I gotta paint, guys. I got to paint. I'm gonna do a dual stream. It was two different characters. Oh, he an owl now. Oh, the best way to contact me, bro, is you can go to my Instagram. If you're on Instagram or Facebook, if you got Facebook Messenger or Instagram, you can hit me up at Paintings by the Prince. Go to Paintings by the Prince and send me a message, and I'll shoot you a my PayPal. Oh, email is all good, bro. So, my email is really simple. I'm an old ass dude, right? So I still got a Yahoo email. And my Yahoo email is my first name and my last name and the year that I was born. So it's Travis Prince 81 at Yahoo. That's it. Travis Prince, my name, 81 at Yahoo. Yeah, there you go. And if you guys do have Instagram, go to Instagram and follow my man at Father93 until yo, City of Trees, what up, bro? Everybody keep coming in this morning. I'm happy to see all you guys, yo. Boozy, what a doozy. Mm. Okay, so we all see the price of that thing, right? 550000. So, like I said, this ain't expensive. This piece is not expensive, but it ain't cheap, bruh. That's what I be trying to tell people too. The shit ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? It ain't cheap, but it's worth it though. And then some people can't even realize like, how big this shit be. For real, for real. Like I said, I got a bunch of other pieces. If you do go to my social media, you can check out all my art, yo. Like to actually see the size of this canvas and why it's that price. I said this shit is not, this is not a fucking small. I'm standing straight up, bro. This is not a small painting. I definitely have smaller pieces, so. But yeah. Do I know how to get the real money? Nah, you gonna tell me? I've been trying to get real money my whole life, nigga. I want to see some M's. You know what I'm saying? I've only ever made it to the thousands. I can't get out the thousands, man. You know what I'm saying? I can't get out the tens of thousands. I want to have hundreds of thousands and then try to get to the M's. Some people get to them M's quick, man. I've been working at this shit for a minute, yo. You know? You know how to get the real money. I don't know, man. Once I figure out how to make some M's, that's the real money, man. You know? Right now, You know what I'm saying? This man say I grow my money. My money grow on trees. What up, D1? This man say my money grow on trees, yo. I got a bank in my basement. Alright, like I said, I'm trying to do a dual stream for a little while. And let some Facebook homies check out the art. Alright, Facebook. Facebook Live. Give me a minute, guys. Jesus Christ, this is my first time working this thing, and it's really stiff and awkward right now. Let's see. I think that's about as good as it's gonna get. So, this man is in here trying to get me to sell weed, man. Yo, let's talk about this off camera some way, man. Hit me up on some social media or something, man. We ain't about to talk about But I listen to you. I listen to what you got to say. You feel me? But this man, he doing a whole business pitch right in the stream. Hope whatever state you in is legal, bro. Cause I say a lot of shit about real conspiracies that the government implements upon its citizens. I talk about the banking institutions and cartels that run the world. And so I know for a fact that I am being tracked, traced, scanned, and recorded. And by the simple fact that you are watching my stream, you are guilty by association. So they will continue to track, trace, scan, and screen your ass. So please be careful what you say in the stream. Please be careful. Cause you going down by default, nigga, just for coming in here fucking with me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you listen to who? Paintings by the Prince. Yeah, we got another one. Tap this nigga's phone. You better tell him, D1. Oh, I know Jersey. Hey, Jersey been trying to do that for a minute. I'm in Pennsylvania, and I feel like Jersey went for it a few years ago. They turned it down. They went for it again last year. They voted it in. It's going to be like a year or two before, everything rolls out. But I feel like as soon as Jersey does it, then Pennsylvania is going to do it. Then we're right there. Like, come on, PA, follow Jersey, man. Look at the example New Jersey has set for us. And New Jersey's one of the fucking smartest states in the fucking union, yo. They come in like number 2 or number 3 in education or some shit like that. New Jersey produces a lot of very intelligent people, and they're cool with marijuana. They're okay with recreational marijuana. Come on, PA, Governor Wolf, step the fuck up to the plate, man. they be most angered by you promoting reading. That's the thing, man. He got books. He got books in his paintings. Oh my God. What is he doing? He's telling them about Chancellor Williams. We can't have that shit. Who the fuck is Nat Turner? Who the fuck is Malcolm X? Who the fuck is Huey P. Newton? Oh my. He's trying to educate the masses. You know what? Anybody who follows his social media, his YouTube, anything, track them motherfuckers. Because if he's reading, they're probably reading too. They probably have books in their house right now. I guarantee you they got books in their house. Teaching themselves about the economy and how the government works. Can't have time for this shit. Lollygagging now. I ain't gonna lie. I'm lollygagging. Let's get this paint. Gotta get some brushes wet. Don't forget to order the patent pendant Prince brush holder for your artist friends and relatives in your life. It just makes painting that much easier. They will think you are the greatest thing since sliced bread if you get them one of the Prince brush holders. Order it now on my Etsy page at Paintings by the Prince for the low price of $21. Yeah, that was we used to get fucking the personal pan pizzas from Pizza Hut. Yo, we had a reading program at my elementary school. I think it was 10 or 15 books. You had to read, I think it was like 15 books, yo. You had to read 15 books, and then they had like these little quizzes on a computer, yo. And you would type in the code for whatever book it was. And if you passed each quiz for each book you read, and you did it like 15 times in a row, you'll get a goddamn a certificate for a free personal pan pepperoni from Pizza Hut, yo. And back in the day, like, Pizza Hut was the fucking shit, son. Everybody loved Pizza Hut. I would read so many fucking books, yo. I remember one year I got like 5 or 6 fucking personal pan pizzas, yo. I was reading, but I was picking like little short books to read too, like some of them. That's how you get over on motherfucker. But then I started reading longer books and chapter books, and it's like, fuck that. I just like reading now. But that personal pan pizza, yo, that was the real incentive for reading, yeah. And that shit was good though. You remember that shit, Boozy? Yo, D-West, I read my ass off trying to get the motherfucking certificates, yo. But man, shit. And Pizza Hut was like that shit that was maybe like once every couple months. Like, well, I was poor. You ain't go to Pizza Hut all the time. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like once a month, maybe on a Sunday after church. Grandma treat us to Pizza Hut, your birthday or some shit like that. But other than that, nigga, you eating at home. Goddamn, but shit. I get my certificate from school that day. As soon as I get home, I go in the house, I drop my book bag, I hop on my bicycle. Where you going? I'm about to go to Pizza Hut. Yo, I hop down on the bike, yo. Vroom. About to go get my pizza, nigga. I ain't eating what y'all eating for dinner tonight. I'm about to have my personal pan. I'm out. Yo. But at the same time, yo, it was an incentive to read, and it worked. It got kids to read, and I read tons of stories, yo, tons of books as a kid. Oh yeah, the arcades, man. I remember for some reason, yo, one of the grocery stores by my neighborhood had 2 fucking arcade machines in it. It was the Food Lion, and they put the Simpsons arcade game in that bitch, bro. I remember one day I was in the grocery store for 5 hours, yo, playing the fucking Simpsons game. Had about goddamn $6. But I was in that bitch so goddamn long. Hey, my sister come in this store looking for me. Boy, grandma said, "Where you at?" This nigga in the grocery store playing the Simpsons game, bro. Killing that shit, yo. We had a pretty decent arcade in my hometown, though. That shit was pretty dope. Used to go there a lot. Burn up all the change, man. When that Street Fighter... See, man, motherfuckers don't know, man. We had the golden age of shit. I mean, the consoles are cool, too, but, like, the arcade, it was video games. They got you out the house, and you're, like, in a crowd of people, and there was, like, you know, you challenge each other, and that shit was fun. Like, our shit was different, man. Like, I don't know, man. Motherfuckers can't experience that shit. Like, video arcades ain't the same no more like they used to be, yo. And then you had the kids on the video games, and the older kids be playing pool and shit, yo. Miss them days. Yo, the Street Fighter joint, oh my god, bro, that was the fucking jam on the arcade, bro. Oh, yeah, the Sebs used to have at least one arcade game in that shit. Mortal Kombat or something, bro. Yo, your Pizza Hut had Ninja Gaiden in that shit. I know you would leave that bitch, bro. Oh my god. Yo, my Pizza Hut had like a pinball machine and a Pac-Man in there. It was hard to find, like, if you didn't go right to the arcade, like, a lot of people didn't have, like, the best fucking fighting games in that shit. But that Ninja Gaiden, yo, that shit was a dope-ass arcade game, yo. And that shit was at the Pizza Hut, yo. Shit. Like I say, my Pizza Hut, I'll just sit there and play ask my grandmother for, like, 50 cents and play a couple rounds of goddamn Pac-Man while the pizza getting ready. I never liked pinball machines, yo. Never did like them shits.
Here it is. Politico health reporter Brianna Ailey says Trump's mental health chief, Eleanor McCants resigns, citing the violent takeover of the Capitol building. I cannot support language that results in incitement if violence...
language that supports. See, he didn't exactly say storm the building, but he used language that kind of like maybe you could interpret it as that.
This is Eleanor McCants,
you know, kind of the same language, but not the exact same words.
Today as the Assistant Secretary for Mental Health and Substance Use.
Yeah.
She said, it had been my plan to stay until the change in administration occurred, but my plans abruptly changed last evening when on my way back from visiting an excellent residential treatment program in New York, I saw the violent takeover of the Capitol building. I believe that this behavior was totally unacceptable, and in my own heart, I simply am not able to continue. She doesn't even directly criticize the president in there. Like, she says she's resigning, and then she says because of the takeover of the Capitol building. Well, that doesn't make any sense, because why would you resign because the Capitol was taken over? So, I mean, it seems like what she's resigning over is President Trump's handling of it. But she's not even saying in the statement, she doesn't even mention the president, unless I'm missing something.
No, maybe she fears that, you know, that the American citizens see them as the enemy now. She doesn't want to be seen as the enemy, so she's resigning, changing her career path.
Here we go.
Oh man, that's really wet.
Because I believe that the mental health of our people has suffered so greatly under the stresses of COVID, the social justice issues that have been so painful for so many, and now with the rending of our nation over questions raised by the presidential election, I cannot support language that results in incitement of violence and risk our very existence. So she does say it. She doesn't specifically say the words Trump or the president, but she says, I cannot support language that results in incitement of violence and risks our very existence. So she said that. Okay.
Mm.
So she's saying she's resigning because of the president's language of that resulted in the incitement of violence and risks our very existence. Okay. Took me a while to find it, but I found it. Okay, so she resigned. Set it up here too. I probably read this before and I forgot I read it. Well, there you go. Found it. Although she did, but she did, she didn't say the president's language. She didn't say Trump's language. She just says language. Anyways. Okay, so that's another resignation. Again, 2 cabinet secretaries have resigned today. Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao, and tonight Betsy DeVos, Education Secretary.
Betsy DeVos backed out? Oh, damn. She ain't do shit anyway, yo. She fucked shit up and progressed Common Core education and whatever, man. Like, that's the only thing, like, going into that shit. Like, Trump, that's why I wasn't with that shit anyway, because you already assigning all these people, these lame-ass people, these fucking high-ass positions, yo.
History Underfoot thinks President Trump doesn't care about any of these resignations. Oh, we have Billy Riley, Dark Owl.
Yo, Steve, thanks, bro.
Thank you, Dark Owl / Billy Riley. Billy says, out of the country,
We're just
mess now. Still have an OG shirt too. Hey,
continue to listen to this news, man.
Billy was incredibly helpful when we first started the channel. He was one of the original moderators. So good to see you, Billy. I hope we keep seeing you in the chat. But thank you, Billy. It's very kind of you, and I hope you are doing well. Dark Owl, Billy Riley. Thank you also, Zijwo He. Thank you, Zijwo, for your support. And Sambista5678. Thank you. Thanks for the super hearts also, Junior, Gail Schmidt, and Mark Watts. And thank you to, I owe somebody else a thank you. Hang on. William Cook. Hey, thank you, William Cook, for your support. Really appreciate it, William. Thank you. Hang on a second here. One last set of thank yous. Thanks for the Facebook stars. Terry Marie Valera. She says, I just figured out how to buy stars. Hey, thank you, Terry. That's very kind of you. Terry Marie Varela. Thank you. And Vero Granados. Thank you, Vero. And Liz Hans. Thank you so much, Liz, for the Facebook stars. Appreciate it. Okay.
Yeah, Facebook star. I never really knew about that shit until I started watching Steve. And then I didn't know it was like giving them money. Oh, thank you for the Facebook stars. Like, that's money.
All right, let's talk about. Oh, by the way, we talked about this earlier, and I don't know why this is. Sarah Cook says President Trump is no longer planning to go to Camp David for the weekend as originally planned. The White House is declining to comment on the reason for the change in schedule. That's from Sarah Cook. We reported on this earlier. But she says the White House is declining to comment on the reason for the change in schedule. But we were telling you this earlier. We heard 4 hours ago that had been canceled. Zeke Miller reported that like 4 hours ago. Rat King, Mike Isaac, who is the New York Times tech reporter, says profiles encourage abandoning ship 99.5% of the way through the journey as a matter of principle. Okay, let's talk about President Trump's statement, okay? We haven't talked about that yet. That happened while I was on break. Okay. Thank you, Chris Wright, by the way, for your support. Thank you, Chris. Chris says the president needs to realize the game is over and that he lost. The only thing to do is stop running and face the consequences like a man and end it with dignity. That's what Chris says. Hey, thanks, Chris, very much for your support. Thank you, Chris. Well, we're going to talk about President Trump right now. So he put out this statement, and we'll go through his statement. He has his Twitter account back, right? He can post on Twitter now. And he basically, it's all read from teleprompter. It's not. It doesn't sound very heartfelt to me. It's certainly very unlike the video he put out yesterday, where it seemed he was a lot more into it. And he doesn't mention election fraud at all. He basically says, rioters bad. Doesn't mention a stolen election. Basically says. Basically concedes the election, but never mentions Joe Biden by name, and never really says I lost, but says he's going to leave office. And then at the end, he has some language about healing and stuff like that, which you usually don't see him say. And then finally, at the very end, he says, like, this is just the beginning or whatever. So we'll play this and we'll stop it, but I just want to let you know, if you haven't seen it. So I'm not going to, let me just play a little bit.
I haven't seen that one. I want to see that.
I would like to begin by addressing the heinous attack on the United States Capitol.
Okay, so he already is calling it heinous. That's already...
Oh, Takara. Hey.
We haven't heard this from him, since yesterday. He put out two statements during the actual riot. They weren't very critical at all. He at one point said he had, I believe the language was he had love, or there was love for the protesters, and also the last message he put out about
but the one that's broken at
it seemed celebratory and said, "We will remember this day
My
forever."
breakfast just came up.
He was sympathetic to the people who
I'm talking to the cameras.
Raided the
I was gonna remake it,
Capitol, because he said something like, "This is what happens when you steal an election." So very different now. All of a sudden, very different.
Like all Americans, I am outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. I immediately deployed the National Guard and federal law enforcement.
Okay, so there's lots of reporting that says that's wrong. There's lots of reporting out there that says he didn't immediately report the call the National Guard. I'll actually show you something about this, just to clarify.
All right, my
For
breakfast just got here, so I'm gonna eat real quick. For everybody in the
as he claims in his video,
yo, Selena, what's up? What's up, everybody?
According to several people, as
Calvin,
CNN
Takar, yo, a lot of people are in this morning.
Anyways, that being said,
if you guys do want to continue watching some of the progress on this portrait,
The building and
I'll be on YouTube,
America is
and I'm just gonna be working on the baby's face for a little while.
The demonstrators who infiltrated the Capitol
I'm actually live on YouTube now.
And again,
a few people watching, so
I won't keep arguing this.
If like I said, if you guys want to continue with the program and check out a little bit longer, then you're more than welcome to come to the YouTube channel. Catch you guys next time. Peace.
So it just I can't imagine his views have really shifted 180 on this in the past day. Let's continue.
In the acts of violence and destruction, you do not represent our country. And
that's not what he said yesterday. Nothing like this yesterday. Yesterday he was defending the people and justifying their behavior.
To those who broke the law, you will pay. We have just been through an intense election and emotions are high. But now tempers must be cooled and calm restored.
So this is literally a day after he did a rally in videos repeatedly saying that the election was stolen and it was a steal and that they had to fight and they couldn't let this be done to them, and he was going to march with them over to the Capitol.
Sometimes
all of a sudden, 24 hours later, he's like, we have to calm down after this election. So, it's totally inconsistent.
It's crazy. I hate when Facebook does that. Like, they make your video stay up there for a certain amount of time.
My campaign vigorously
Yes, I got
pursued
too many
every
people on my
legal
page.
avenue
Only need
to
everybody to see.
contest the election.
If they don't catch it live, you never see it.
Now this is amazing. He says, my only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. So what he's implying here, is that that implies he doesn't think the election was stolen. He says, my only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote by having his legal team file these lawsuits. My only goal. So his goal was not to win the election. His goal was not to right the wrong that had happened because the election had been stolen. No, he literally says, my only goal was to ensure the integrity of the vote. That, and he has said nothing about a vote being stolen. So he's just abandoned that. He's abandoned it. What he talked about nonstop for 2 months, it's just gone in this video. All gone. All gone. All gone. No more. No more. You know that thing that you gave me all this money for to fight, and that thing I told you to go rally about in D.C., and that thing that 5 people died in, and that thing that I was riling you up about yesterday? Oh, I'm not mentioning that anymore. All gone. No. No more. No more about stolen. No more stolen election. All gone. All gone. No, that's not.
Yo, Steve
that's not
hate
why
that
I did
video.
this. I didn't really think it was stolen. I just wanted to ensure the integrity of the vote. I'm not mentioning it anymore.
I mean, he definitely should have called people to relax,
anyway,
but.
Continue.
In so doing, I was fighting to defend American democracy. I continue to strongly believe that we must reform our election laws to verify the identity and eligibility of all voters and to ensure faith and confidence in all future elections. Now Congress has certified the results. A new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th.
So he is admitting, as the statement last night did, he's saying a new administration will be inaugurated on January 20th. Remember all that stuff he was saying last couple months about how he might be, he was going to win, how they were going to win, and he was going to be in office again? All done, all done, no more, not talking about it anymore, no more. You know the stuff that people gave him $100 million for the last couple months? All gone, not mentioning it anymore, all gone. Done, not talking about it anymore. We talked about it yesterday. Yesterday released.
Yo, he's being so condescending right now.
And he did a rally where we're just nonstop talking about how this was stolen and the biggest injustice in the world. Did that whole video that came out during the riot where it was 3/4 of it was about how the election had been stolen. Oh, he's not talking about it anymore. Interesting. It's all gone. No more. Done.
My focus now turns to ensuring a smooth, orderly, and seamless transition of power. This moment calls for healing and reconciliation.
Healing and reconciliation, folks. Healing and reconciliation. That's his emphasis. It's all of a sudden today. That's the emphasis.
2020 has been a challenging time for our people. A menacing pandemic has upended the lives of our citizens, isolated millions in their homes, damaged our economy, and claimed countless lives. Defeating this pandemic and rebuilding the greatest economy on earth will require all of us working together. It will require a renewed emphasis on the civic values of patriotism, faith, charity, community, and family. We must.
It's interesting because I remember during the campaign for the election, he kept saying that no one was going to talk about the pandemic after the election. Remember that? Remember when he kept saying nobody's going to talk about the election, about the pandemic after November 4th? Remember that? Well, now he's talking about it. And he's saying we still need to defeat it. And talking about what an effort's going to take to defeat it. I'm confused. Because I heard him say again and again and again, the media is the ones talking about it, and it's not, and we've already turned the corner, and nobody's going to be talking about it after the election. But now he's talking about it, and he's saying it's going to make that we need this big effort to defeat it. That doesn't seem to be the same thing he was saying before.
Revitalize the sacred bonds of love and loyalty that bind us together as one
It's
national
gonna be Trump
family.
versus Kanye in
To the citizens
2024.
of our country, serving as your president has been the honor of my lifetime. And to all of my wonderful supporters, I know you are disappointed, but I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. I'd like to begin.
So when I saw this,
versus West.
it's just, abandoning all of this stuff that he's been ranting about nonstop
Kanye
for the
coming
last
back.
several months. And when I saw this, one
My
thing
words.
I was wondering, I've seen other people talk
So
about
he's
too,
coming
is
back?
what did the diehard supporters
Kanye
think
gonna run
about
again
this?
next time.
Right?
Trust me.
Because he's been telling them
He's
the
not
election's
dead or
been
in a mental
stolen.
hospital,
He's been saying the election's been stolen for months.
Shit, Joe Biden ran. This is his third time running as
Just
president.
gone. No talk about that here.
Mm-hmm.
And implying that it wasn't stolen.
Like, what has Joe Biden done?
And also all the stuff about the virus
He helped.
being like made up and
He helped Bush with the '96 crime act.
Well, now he's saying
crime
it's a
bill,
big deal.
three
They're all
strikes.
together to
That
fight
locked a
it.
bunch of people up.
So
That's what he's most known.
how do the people feel who have been so out there supporting his claims of stolen election?
Swoopy poop.
I posted this on Twitter. I went on to 4chan, and one person said Trump cupped.
Scoopity poop.
They
Yo, he
described
was
this
wild.
as Trump cupped. So I don't know how the strong
And homeless ass
supporters
clothes.
are going to spin this. Oh, some people on 4chan were saying it was a deep fake video. They were saying it was a deep fake video. He didn't really make it. Also, this was interesting. Josie Ensor says, if you're wondering how Trump's fans took the video address, Nicolas Fuentes is a very strong Trump supporter. And Nicolas Fuentes said, people were willing to die for this man, and he just threw them all under the bus. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things that Nicolas Fuentes says, right? But I agree with this. I 100% agree.
Yo, he's got his money up now. Yep, he'll be back.
People were willing to die for this man.
That's because he ain't got to have donations and all that shit. Like you say, he got his own money. He can fund his own campaign. Yo, like fuck it.
That's what he always did. He did it with
I'll
Mike
fund
Pence, too.
myself.
But yes, but it's interesting because that's from Nicolas Fuentes, who's about as strong a Trump supporter as you could get. He says that's the only thing that's shameful about the events of the past 36 hours. I disagree with him there. But anyways, I'm sure the usual suspects suggested this was a good idea. I hope Trump reverses course for our sake. So that's what Nicolas Fuentes had to say. So, anyways. But he did. Nicolas Fuentes is right. He just threw all the supporters under the bus. That's what he did, all of a sudden. So there you go. All right, give me a shout with your comments at Lookner on Twitter. So, look, I would not be surprised if we hear him totally go away from that clearly just read off of teleprompter, emotionless speech. I would not be surprised at all if tonight or tomorrow he starts saying stuff very different than that. Maybe he'll start talking about stolen election again. And I'm sure in the future he'll start talking about stolen election, like when he's after he's out of office. There was an interesting response by Casey Hunt. Her response to that speech was, my questions: who was threatening Trump with action? What were they threatening to do? Will he remain adhered to the script for 13 more days? Yeah, it's there has to be some reason that all of a sudden he does this 180 and he just totally stops talking about stolen election and talks about healing and talks about how we have to work hard to beat this pandemic. So, and also how condemns the terrible behavior of these protesters, of these rioters, and they must be prosecuted. Just a total 180. So why did that happen? It's a very good question. I don't know. It's a really good question. Why did he
Now,
make
how
the
you
video?
do live on Instagram
Why did he make
now?
this video now?
Oh, damn, they hide the shit all the way over there.
Go lay down. I know you know you can do an IGTV video if you're the song. And you want to keep it up there.
So I don't know. He did it for some reason. He did it for some reason. Chill, our viewer Chill thinks he's afraid of impending prison sentences. Ashley thinks he knew the whole time he lost the election, he just wanted money to pay for his campaign. But why would he change now? Why do this video? Why such a big change tonight? Why now?
I don't need nobody money. Yeah.
Why now? Why?
I don't even make no sense.
All right, give me a shout at Looker on Twitter. Let's see. Yeah, Jonathan Lemire says, for the first time on camera, he admitted his presidency would soon end. Though he declined to mention Biden by name or explicitly state he had lost. But he's been going non-stop for 2 months about this nonsense of the stolen election. But he's been going on and on and on about the stolen election, even all day yesterday. Go watch his rally speech from yesterday. It's all about the stolen election. And go watch the social media stuff he posted during the riot. It's all about the stolen election. And now, just 24 hours later, oh no, it's not stolen anymore. Not a peep about a stolen election.
Yo, Kassim, what's up, bro?
I would think that the people who are the strong supporters, who've been out there listening to him and saying the election's stolen, and out there going to his rallies and giving him money, I think they'd be pretty upset right now. I think they'd feel like Nick Fuentes said. Big Trump supporter Nick Fuentes said, these are people who would die for President Trump, and he threw them under the bus. So I wonder if the big supporters are angry now. Nick Fuentes was angry about it. Again, he's about as big a Trump supporter as you can get. He was mad. I saw some mad people in 4chan. The person who said Trump cucked. Serious question, though. Do the people who believe in the deep state stuff and the Q stuff, do they see this and do they say, oh, well, Trump's part of the deep state now? Because they got to explain this away. This has to be explained away. So do they turn on Trump now and say, well, no, Trump is abandoning the cause. Bad Trump. Acid Rain donates and says, want to continue reporting and stop whining about Trump. Oh, I am reporting. I'm telling you, I'm reporting the fact that President Trump made a video tonight that was utterly inconsistent with things he's been doing for months. I'm reporting on that, and I'm explaining why it's so inconsistent. And then part of the story is, well, why did he do such a thing? And I'm offering some speculation as to why that could be, based on what we know at the time. I think it's good reporting. I think that these are important issues. This is news. We're talking about the news. So thank you. Thanks for donating. Thank you, Playing Around with Fire. Yeah, Playing Around with Fire says they're literally saying the video is a deep fake LOL. I saw some deep fake posts, some deep fake claims on when I was watching on when I was looking at 4chan. I'm not saying there was a bunch of different posts. I didn't read all the posts, obviously, but they gotta explain it somehow. Thank you, Arun Dobbs. Thank you, Jeffrey Frederick and Paul Flieger as well. And thank you, Rob the Slots. Appreciate your support, Rob the Slots. I mean, I'm sorry, if you're not willing to acknowledge, I don't care what you think about President Trump, I don't care if you're the biggest fan of his in the world, but it's just obvious he just did a 180 and just abandoned on a dime. He just abandoned the stuff, all the election stolen stuff. It's just gone. All of a sudden, it's gone. It evaporated away. Go watch his rally speech yesterday. It's nonstop. It's non-stop stealing election talk. Look at his social media post yesterday. It's non-stop stolen election talk. And then all of a sudden, it's just gone. It's gone. And he said the only reason that they fought the election stuff in court was to ensure the integrity of the vote. That's the only reason. Which means that he doesn't actually think it was stolen. Which means he wasn't really interested in like becoming president, because that would be a different reason to fight in court if you really think that you should be president and you think you're going to win. He just that's it. All of a sudden, just like that, gone. The thing he's been so passionate about for months and telling you is so important and the greatest steal in the history of elections. Oh, guess it didn't happen. All gone. All gone. No more. All gone. Of course, it is a day late to stop. It'd probably be better if he had done that a day earlier, so you wouldn't have had this riot where the Capitol was invaded and 5 people died. Well, it looks like it's going to be 5 people. Okay. All right, we're trying to get you updates here. At Lookner on Twitter is where you can reach me. I haven't seen the update on the officer yet. I was looking to see some update on the officer. I don't know if Bruce LeShan has posted anything. Yeah, so the last we heard, again, is that Bruce LeShan reported that this officer, there's a Capitol Police officer who, according to the Capitol Police Union Chair, is on life support until his family can arrive. Other reporting says this officer was hit in the head with a fire extinguisher yesterday by a rider. So, unfortunately, very sadly, it looks like this officer is going to pass away. A number of outlets had reported earlier tonight that he had passed away. But the latest reporting that I've seen is that he is on life support until his family can arrive. oh, this is not agenda-free reporting. Oh, I'm sorry, because you don't like it. It's not agenda-free, right? Because if somebody says something bad about Trump, they must be biased. No neutral person could have a bad opinion about Trump, right? Right? So to say that Trump was saying the election had been stolen for 2 months and all of a sudden today he abandoned that and just gave it up. I mean, I think that's an obvious fact, but I guess I must be biased because I'm just recognizing an obvious fact. It's amazing. I guess I'm biased. I guess a reasonable person wouldn't conclude that because it's not an obvious fact. You know what I'm seeing in the chat room tonight? A lot of crying. I'm seeing a lot of crying.
A lot of crying.
So that's what I'm seeing. A lot of crying. A lot of people very upset in the chat. They're crying. Also, this funny thing, Steve is obsessed with most of it. We cover, for a news station, I cover way less Trump stuff than most news stations do. I usually go out of my way to not cover it because it's so unpleasant. But I kind of think it's important what's going on right now. Sorry if I think it's important what's going on with the President of the United States in this huge crisis.
Yo, people trying to come at Steve, yo, but Steve just so sarcastic on them. He just burns them up, yo.
By the way, the Senate Sergeant at Arms resigned. So both the House and Senate Sergeants at Arms resigned. See, look, NPR Politics. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell said that he requested and received the immediate resignation of Senate Sergeant at Arms Michael Stenger. Earlier Thursday, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called for his resignation. The Sergeant at Arms is the lead law enforcement and safety official. It's from NPR. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he requested and has received Senate Sergeant at Arms Michael Stenger's immediate resignation, the highest ranking law enforcement officer in the Senate. Earlier Thursday, McConnell announced the need for a painstaking investigation into the security issues of Wednesday. McConnell said, yesterday represented a massive failure of institutions, protocols, and planning that are supposed to protect the first branch of our federal government. The chief of the Capitol Police also resigned. That happened too. Capitol Police Chief resigning amid criticism over pro-Trump mob. The announcement comes just after the head of the department's union called for a change at the top. That's from NBC News. U.S. Capitol Police Chief Stephen Sund is resigning amid criticism of the department's response to rioters who stormed the Capitol in protest of President Trump's election laws. According to a statement from the officer union chairman, officers are frustrated and demoralized with how a lack of leadership undermined the response to the mob. The union leader laid the blame on a failure of planning while praising the officers for their work. Yeah, he posted, as our viewer random video says, resigned with benefits and paid. So I did see the statement where he said he was going to do his 440 hours of paid time or something. Yeah. David Begnos says CBS News has obtained the resignation letter of the Capitol Hill police chief, who says he's going to resign Saturday, January 16th, and then transition into a sick leave status until he exhausts his approximately 440 hours of sick leave. So he actually says that in the letter. So he will be getting his sick leave time. It sounds like he negotiated with it then. He says, as discussed, so he negotiated this with them, I will transition into a sick leave status effective January 17th until I exhaust my available sick leave balance of approximately 440 hours. It's very specific, but clearly that was, he wanted to, that was part of, I'm guessing that was part of the resignation negotiation, and he's putting it in writing so he can hold them to it. Hey, if he wants to get his money, I don't blame him putting it in writing.
Mm-hmm. Y'all owe me. I want that. I'm leaving, but I'm gonna be on sick leave until I'm out of here. You try to play me. I want my 440 something hours and 42 minutes and everything. I ain't working for y'all no more, but y'all gonna pay me until them hours run out.
Oh, here's an update, by the way. Now over 200 House and Senate members calling for Trump's removal via 25th Amendment or impeachment.
Not the 25th Amendment.
However, I think only 2 members are GOP. I think there are 2 GOP House members who've called for it, and that's it. Yes, here's the other one. Kyle Griffin had posted this earlier this evening. Republican Steve Stivers tells Spectrum News Ohio he supports stripping Trump of his powers through the 25th Amendment. He did not rule out supporting impeachment. So 2 Republican House members have said they support it, removing the president, but that's it. Hey, thank you, Read Israel. Thank you, Read Israel. Read Israel says, an opinion is not an agenda. I wish it wasn't so hard for people to understand that, Rita. They just don't understand. Thank you, Read Israel. I really appreciate that. And thanks for shouting out the mods. Yeah, I'm going to thank the mods in a second because they are amazing. Thank you also to... thank you, Peach Sangria. Who says, I don't agree with perpetuating a retaliation cycle. People are entitled to their views and we can agree to disagree. That's fine. So that means I can have my views and say them on my channel. I hope you're okay with that, Peach Sangria. Thank you, Peach Sangria. Thank you also, Maria Brouillard. I appreciate it, Maria. Thank you. And Michael Kern. Thank you, Michael Kern and Kirk Spaziani. Kirk says, here's to the tears. Thank you also, Arun Dobbs and Brad Bell, for your support. Oh, and thank you also, Dark Owl. Thank you, Dark Owl. Oh, has a Video Game Explosions shirt. I wish I had one of those. Thank you also to Drew Pratt. Drew in Australia. I appreciate that, Drew. Hey, let's say thanks to our mods because they are amazing. They're all volunteers. So they are awesome. Thank you, mods. Hold on a second here. Thank you, mods. Sarah55 is modding. Mark Helton is modding. We have been really busy the last few days, and the mods have been there. Melissa, Alicia, Sarah Joy, did I say Sarah Joy? Ruby Roo. Miss Misha is moderating in our Periscope chat. Thank you. Thank you to our Facebook and Twitch mods, too. Smoke and Tariak are moderating. Thank you. Much appreciated. And hey, thanks. Cindy Jones says thanks mods. John Harvey says thanks mods. Janice Key Smith says thanks mods. I love seeing everybody thank the mods. Thanks to our Facebook mods.
Thank you for the moderators in my streams as well, guys. I really couldn't get by without you guys because there be too many trolls in here sometimes and I can't catch them all. I can't block everybody and I can't monitor everybody. So thank you for the mods in my channel as well. Need to follow Steve's example and thank everybody that helps out.
This is true. Catherine Watson says we haven't heard a word from the First Lady. Yeah, there's no public statement from her in the last time.
Man, the First Lady smart enough to stay the fuck out of all this shit, yo. What's her name? Ivanka or whatever. She ain't with no Melania. I don't know. Whatever. She ain't with no parts in this shit, yo. What you expect her to say right now?
I'm guessing this won't pass. Sammy sent me this from Joaquin Castro, who's a Texas congressman. In addition to supporting the impeachment and removal of President Trump, I'm also preparing legislation that would prohibit any federal building or property from being named after President Donald Trump. I don't think that's going to pass the Senate. I don't know that it would even pass the House. That's from Joaquin Castro. HMB sent me this. Maggie Haberman says, she just posted this, as the vice president was sheltering in a secure location amid the Capitol riot and the building was under siege, the president never called to check and see if he was okay. The White House chief of staff also did not check to see how they were doing.
Y'all okay in there? Y'all alright? I heard they got y'all surrounded. Y'all got y'all security with y'all? Alright, don't get separated from the security. They say Trump ain't even called to check on his VP. Yo, VP, you good, my dude? Just hold tight, man, hold tight.
In terms of the video that President Trump released tonight, where he was reading from a script for about 2.5 minutes, see it says, we showed the video earlier. Mr. Trump posted a 2.5 video on Twitter, 2.5 minute video, reading dutifully from a script prepared by his staff. He claimed he was outraged by the violence, lawlessness, and mayhem. He initially resisted taping the video, says the New York Times, agreeing to do it only after aides pressed him, and he appeared to suddenly realize he could face legal risk for prodding the mob, coming shortly after the chief federal prosecutor for Washington left open the possibility of investigating the president for illegally inciting the attack by telling supporters to march on the Capitol and show strength. Pat Cipollone, the White House counsel, had warned Mr. Trump of just that danger on Wednesday as aides frantically tried to get the president to intervene and publicly call off rioters, which he did only belatedly, reluctantly, and half-heartedly. The U.S. attorney in Washington told reporters, "We are looking at all actors and not only the people who went to the building." Asked if that included Mr. Trump, he did not rule it out, saying, "We are looking at all actors." He repeated, "If the evidence fits the elements of the crime, they're going to be charged." Aides hope the latest statement would at least staunch, right? Staunch? I think it's staunch. Staunch the bleeding within Mr. Trump's own body. Within Mr. Trump's own party, Ivanka Trump, his eldest daughter, called lawmakers before it posted, promising it would reassure them. The New York Times says Mr. Trump quietly made plans to take a trip next week to the southwestern border to highlight his hardline immigration policies. I wonder if that's going to happen. He also told advisors he wants to give a media exit interview. Well, we'll see what happens. That's what the New York Times says is going on. Montpelier, our viewer, thinks it was a CYA video. Truck thinks Trump is covering his own butt. Probably he does not want to be liable for any more violence due to his fraud and lies. But yeah, so Circuit thinks President Trump read the script in the video because he's terrified of 25th Amendment, which would prevent him from pardoning himself. Well, so I do know if President Trump gets impeached, But the thing is, like, he can pardon himself right now. So like, you know, like for impeachment or the 25th Amendment to prevent him from pardoning himself, like they would have to run into his office and like it would have to happen all of a sudden, right? Because he could do that now. So my guess is that he would have a heads up. He would certainly have a heads up if there was an impeachment. And I don't think impeachment's not going to work anyway, because if the House votes to impeach him, they need a majority vote in the House. I don't think you're going to get 2/3 of the Senate to go along with it and convict him and throw him out of office. So, you know, if you do get impeached successfully, you get thrown out of office. You can't run again for office. I saw that. You're not allowed to run again if you're impeached and thrown out of office. But, you know, I'm guessing if he's going to pardon himself, even if he were to get thrown out of office, he could do it before then. Oh, something else. One of our viewers said murder in the Capitol, Machiavelli. So I haven't seen any updates on it, but unfortunately it looks like a police officer is going to die from what happened yesterday. Oh, hold on a second. Before we talk about... So basically, the reporting says this police officer the reporting out there says a police officer who was hit in the head by a rider with a fire extinguisher yesterday is on life support, and basically is being kept on life support until his family gets there, and that's going to be it. So if he does die, which unfortunately looks like it's going to happen, you could be seeing murder charges, right? If that's how he died, if he was hit by a fire extinguisher, by a rider and died, you could see somebody charged with murder. Jennifer Jacobs says, hang on, Trump's NSC aide for counter-proliferation and biodefense, Anthony Ruggiero, does resign today, per 3 sources. He told people close to him, the Capitol riots can't be tolerated or explained away. He was first person briefing on coronavirus in senior staff meetings in January 2020. He was Trump's National Security Council aide for counter-proliferation and biodefense. As we mentioned, Secretary of Education DeVos, Betsy DeVos, resigned tonight. Secretary of Transportation Elaine Chao resigned earlier today. President Trump's, the Assistant Secretary of Health and Human Services, the head mental health person in the White House, also resigned. Moshe says, why didn't they make any press conference about the people arrested and who they are in charge of them? So there has been no press briefing or press availability or even formal announcement from any federal authorities on what happened. The local authorities have been doing it, but not the federal authorities. Nothing. Nothing at all. Capitol Police, you know, nothing. Oh, here's something about the exit interview. New York Times, Maggie Haberman. The president is talking about an exit interview and discussing a potential visit to the southern border next week, despite hopes from several administration officials he would remain out of sight for the remaining 2 weeks. Oh, she also says, not in peace, but the first family is discussing leaving the White House for good on January 19th, a day before the inauguration. She says that as well. Sonic says, who is left at cabinet level and can we guess how they may feel on 25? Sonic, the reporting I've seen says that Vice President Pence is unlikely to go along with 25th Amendment. Jim Acosta reported that. There's a CNBC story out there, which we saw earlier, which said that the general feeling was to just let the clock run out on the next 12 days or whatever it is. So the reporting I'm hearing doesn't suggest that the 25th Amendment is likely. The reporting suggests that it's unlikely at this point. Thank you, Sonny. But that's what we've been, you know, everything I've heard during the day-to-day is suggesting it's not particularly likely at this point. See, this is this article about Pompeo, Mnuchin among cabinet secretaries who discussed 25th Amendment with staff, sources say, but the general plan now is to let the clock run out, said one former senior administration official over the discussions. There will be a reckoning for the president, but it doesn't need to happen in the next 13 days. According to three sources, the arguments against 25th Amendment throwing the president out of office there were many arguments against it. First, the legal process itself was estimated to take more than a week, negating any immediate effect it would have. Second, it was which I don't know if that's true. Second, it was unclear whether the three secretaries were serving in acting roles without Senate confirmation would be able to cast a vote. Third, they had concerns that forcing Trump from office could further stoke tensions among his base and make him a hero of the far right, doing more harm in the long term than good in the short term. Seelos says, if you want to know what will happen to Trump, nothing will. I will say this. There is this to be said. I don't think this has been talked about enough. So, President Trump very well might pardon himself. There's a lot of reporting about that. But legally, it's unclear if as a president you can pardon yourself. So, if Trump could get Pence to pardon him, that's allowed, because that wouldn't be somebody pardoning himself. So, if Trump thought he was in legal jeopardy, and other people have said this before, one of my friends says this a lot, and others have said this, but if Trump thinks he's in legal jeopardy, then, and a pardon only, by the way, pardons you from federal crimes. It doesn't have anything to do with state crimes. But if Trump is in legal jeopardy and he's really worried about federal prosecution, there's a world in which he thinks, man, I'd like to get pardoned, but if I pardon myself, it might not hold up in court. But if Mike Pence pardons me, then we can avoid the whole worry about pardoning yourself, the legal question. So that, to me, would be a reason that President Trump would, work out a deal where he would leave early and then Pence would pardon him. The thing is, though, I had heard that before. That suggestion before, and I was like, well, it seems kind of odd that he would just resign early. But the thing is, now you have all these people calling for him to resign. So it would give him a reason to resign, even if the real reason was just for the pardon. It's not insanity to think that, if that's what he really cares about. Animal says, what about Pence being pardoned? I don't know if Trump would feel that Pence would need a pardon for anything he did. I don't know. Jan Harker says, Trump turned on Pence. Pence is angry. Pence won't pardon him. Does he need to admit his crimes then? I don't know that you do. It's a good question. I don't know that you have to specifically say, like, I don't know what form that pardon needs to take. Couldn't Pence just pardon him and say, like, President Trump is pardoned for anything that he's done before now? In theory, you could. I don't know why Pence couldn't. If Pence were president, I don't know why he couldn't say that. Can't you say that as a president? You just can't pardon. You can't pardon for future crimes. I don't know if you have to be that specific. It's a good question. You can pardon somebody for a crime they may be charged for if it's already happened. We talked about this earlier. It's called a preemptive pardon. For example, Ford pardoned Nixon after Nixon left for possible crimes that he might be prosecuted for, but he hadn't been charged with yet. It's called a preemptive pardon. Hey, thank you, Tyler Otto. Thank you, Tyler Otto. I appreciate that. So, do I think it's likely that Trump would resign? No, not likely, but again, if you think that his chief concern is legal worries, then there is an open legal question about whether you can pardon yourself. But it's been settled that somebody else could pardon you. Hey, thanks, by the way, to so much to Marissa Lopez Cruzan. Thank you, Marissa Lopez Cruzan. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Thanks also for the Facebook stars. Sandra Morel, Kelly Grace, thank you. Terry Marie Varela, Vero Granados, and Liz Hans. Ooh, hold on a second. Breaking news. Vincent Lee, who types in capital letters a lot, but he's a good reporter, he's with Reuters. Reuters, Pfizer says its COVID-19 vaccine appears to work against mutation found in UK, South Africa virus variants in lab study. So Reuters is reporting that Pfizer says its COVID vaccine appears to work against mutation found in UK, South Africa virus variants in lab study. Now, this has been anticipated that this would be the case, but if that's really coming out from the lab data, that's good news. The biggest problem with the UK mutation is that it spreads so fast. Yeah, here's Chris Hayes. By the way, Chris Hayes says this, and I agree with him. There really should be some official briefing from someone about what happened yesterday, who was shot, and who died under what circumstances. How has this not happened yet? I totally agree. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable there's been no briefing whatsoever. None. DC police have had briefings. Nothing from the federal government. Totally agree. Rob G says, hopefully the Oxford vaccine works against those new variants as well. This is a weird story. I heard about this before. I don't know what to make of this. I'll show you what the story is. Apocalypse says, oh, we still have a pandemic. Yeah, over 4,000 deaths in the U.S. today, in the past day. Over 4,000 deaths. Unbelievable. Steve Awana says, it's disgusting that citizens were murdered and no word about it. People will not forget this. Gina Pina says, he will be impeached again. The House is already working on it. I think the most likely outcome is that the House votes to impeach him and the Senate doesn't. The Senate doesn't convict him. I think that's the most likely thing. That's what it's looking like now. Okay, I saw this before. I know what to make of this. Hold on a second. I don't know if this is true. Crystal Hayes posted this. Jennifer Epstein said, hang on. Jennifer Epstein said, as a mob raided the Capitol, a Capitol police officer gave them directions to Schumer's office, per this Times report, but they could not find Mr. Schumer's office. He said they asked a Capitol police officer who tried to direct them. Is that true? I have no idea if this is true. These are the rioters who stormed the nation's Capitol. Look at all the people out there. It's crazy. Look at all the people. Look at that picture, too. Where's the thing about the Schumer thing? As people rushed inside, there was a strange mix of confusion and excitement. And the almost complete lack of presence in the beginning, and the almost complete lack of police presence in the beginning amplified the feeling of lawlessness. They gawked at a place of wealth and beauty, adorned with art and marble, a domain of the powerful, and for a short while on Wednesday afternoon, the rioters were in control. For once, they felt they could not be ignored. Aaron, the construction worker from Indianapolis, and his two friends had heard people talking about going to Miss Pelosi's office. So once inside, they decided to instead find Senator Chuck Schumer's office. Both are Democrats. Both Pelosi and Schumer are Democrats. We wanted to have a few words with Mr. Schumer, he said. He's probably the most corrupt guy up here. You don't hear too much about him, but he's slimy. You can just see it. But they could not find Mr. Schumer's office, but he said they asked a Capitol police officer who tried to direct them. I wonder if he gave them bad directions. I wonder if the officer gave them bad directions. But they appear to have gotten nowhere near the minority leader's office. Yeah, I mean, you know, it's very possible that they asked the Capitol police officer, where's Schumer's office? He could have just he could have pointed the opposite direction. He could have said, oh, it's that way. And then they walk that way. So I'm going to assume that maybe he told them the wrong way to go. That's going to be my assumption. This is from the New York Times. It's called, These Are the Rioters Who Stormed the Nation's Capitol. Okay. Jack Carr says bad directions, good tactic. If that's what happened, I mean, if I had to guess, I think that's more likely than him giving them the correct directions. History Underfoot also thinks the officer gave the wrong directions. Nan B says, should have told them in here and locked them in. What, the last part of the Trump speech when he says it's just beginning or whatever? We played this before. Why do people keep talking about it? This part right here, didn't we hear this? We listened to this before. Is there something I'm missing?
But I also want you to know that our incredible journey is only just beginning. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America.
Okay. People keep writing to me about the last part of what he said. Okay, that's what he said. Who knows what's happening? Erin McPike says Josh Hawley's two biggest home state papers, the KC Star and the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, are calling on him to resign. I'm guessing because of his perceived role in inciting the rioters. editorial, Hawley should resign. This is from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Silent enablers must now publicly condemn Trumpism. They say, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Senator Josh Hawley had the gall to stand before the Senate Wednesday night and feign shock at what happened hours after he had fist-pumped and cheered the rioters as they arrived on Capitol Hill. But, interestingly, it was actually interesting, the Wall Street Journal said that Trump should resign. And they're conservative, and they do support Trump a bunch. But their opinion page, Donald Trump's final days, the best outcome would be for him to resign to spare the U.S. another impeachment fight. They say, hold on a second here. They say, in concise summary, they say Mr. Trump's actions on Wednesday raise constitutional questions that aren't casually dismissed. In concise summary, on Wednesday, the leader of the executive branch, President Trump, incited a crowd to march on the legislative branch. The express goal was to demand that Congress and the Vice President reject electors from enough states to deny Mr. Biden an electoral college victory. When some in the crowd turned violent and occupied the Capitol, the President cavilled, so raised small, objected in a small way. I think that means cavil. Make petty objections. He cavilled and declined for far too long to call them off. When he did speak, he hedged his plea with election complaint. The Wall Street Journal says this was an assault on the constitutional process of transferring power after an election. It was also an assault on the legislature from an executive sworn to uphold the laws of the United States. This goes beyond merely refusing to concede defeat. In our view, it crosses a constitutional line that Mr. Trump hasn't previously crossed. It's impeachable. But they think the best thing to do would be for President Trump to resign. They say, if Mr. Trump wants to avoid a second impeachment, his best path would be to take personal responsibility and resign. They say, Trump has refused to accept the basic bargain of democracy, which is to accept the result, win or lose. It is best for everyone, himself included, if he goes away quietly. And this is interesting because, this is a conservative paper, and they very often, their opinion page especially, very often supports President Trump. But they're calling on him to resign. I didn't expect that. Teresa said, why would you impeach if he's leaving in a few days? Well, the reason, a big reason would be if you thought he wasn't capable of properly carrying out the duties as president. Karen points out, if you successfully throw somebody out of office from impeachment, they can't run again. But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, I can't see the Senate actually convicting him in an impeachment trial, because it would require too many Republicans. Here, look, WUSA. If President Trump gets impeached and convicted or removed by 25th Amendment, can he run again? If removed by an impeachment conviction, it depends. When impeaching someone, Congress does have the constitutional authority to disqualify that person from future office. However, there have been occasions when Congress has decided to not disqualify someone from future office. If the president were to be impeached and convicted, which I don't think is going to happen, his ability to run in 2024 would depend on whether Congress decided to disqualify him or not. If removed by 25th Amendment, yes, he could run again. That's from WUSA. Hey, thank you, by the way. I appreciate your support. Marie Serrano Flores. Thank you, Marie. I'm glad you liked the channel. Thank you so much, Marie. Much appreciated. Did I thank, by the way, Ao Meeseeks? I'm pretty sure the guy with camera, the blonde girl in red, and the guy with suitcase were killed. I'm not sure who those are. Was that in the picture we showed before? So we talked about, so there was the woman who was shot, which is terrible. You know, it's terrible that people died. The woman who was shot, and that was in the Capitol. Then there was a guy we read about earlier today who was had organized like a bus of people to go down to the rally, and he had a heart attack. We heard about him. There was another woman and another man who died, and I don't know. Oh no, he didn't have a heart attack. The guy who organized the bus tour, the bus ride down, the people who were with him said the police said he had a stroke of some sort. That's what they said. But they don't know. They want to know more. But the police said he had a stroke. There's another article about somebody with a heart attack. That's right here. New York Times, an Alabama man who suffered a heart attack outside the Capitol is among the dead. Kevin D. Greeson of Athens, Alabama, who collapsed as he stood among a sea of Trump supporters on the west side of the U.S. Capitol. In an interview with his wife Christy said authorities had contacted her afterward to say her husband had died of a heart attack. Wow. She and her husband, who was a father of 5, had left home on Tuesday, spending the night in Virginia with a friend. She said her husband, who had high blood pressure, was excited to attend the rally, believing the election had been stolen. He felt like it was a monumental event in his mind, she said. I didn't want him to go. I didn't feel like it was safe. She said her husband was a political junkie who liked President Trump because he cared about blue-collar workers such as Mr. Greeson. But her husband also saw the good and bad in Mr. Trump, she said. His family said he was not there to participate in violence or rioting, nor did he condone such actions. And thoughts with the families of those who passed away. I don't know, Wireless Mike, if the other woman was crushed to death by the crowd. It's possible, but I haven't seen that confirmed. Rita sent me this. You know, there's been a lot of questions about how the people were treated yesterday versus other protesters, how they've been treated at the White House or the Capitol. So, for example, Rita sent me this. Arn Menkani says, this is how Capitol Police arrested me in 2017 when resisting arrest in the hallway outside of the Senate hearing to repeal Obamacare. 184 of us were arrested. They knew we were coming, were prepared. This wasn't just an accident yesterday, it wasn't President Trump. So I can't really speak to this, you know, but there's a number of people who are upset because they feel like that preferential treatment was given to the people yesterday that wasn't given to other protesters in the past. So I can't really speak to that. I don't know the specifics. It's possible it happened. It's also possible just that they were utterly outnumbered in being in I don't know. It's a good question. I just don't. I can't really. I don't have a strong view on that either way. I would have to know more about it. But a lot of people are upset about that. Thank you, Rita, for sending that in. So, someone sent me a video, and it says in this video, the person posted on Twitter, it says in this video, President Trump is watching the violence in the Capitol on TV and enjoying the show. But I look at the actual video, and it seems like he's just watching people at, I don't see the Capitol. It's not clear to me he's watching the violence. Looks like he's looking at people at the rally. Yes, I don't, again, I have not seen a video. It's a little confusing, because people have sent me this video today, and I guess the implication is that President Trump was watching the violence and celebrating, but the video to me seems to show, when I look at what he's watching in the video, it's not the violence. So I don't know. I haven't.
All right, I'm going to take a break for a while.
Is but actually what that reports to.
So we did get several things done this morning. We framed a painting that is going, well, it's already sold. Like I said, one client who he collects more of my art than anyone else, he actually wants to purchase another piece of art from me. So I got that ready. I'll drop that off to him today. One of my friends, he wants a print of one painting that I have to go in his shop, so I got to drop that off today. There was something else I needed to do. I can't remember right now, but I think there's like one more thing I need to do, and I definitely want to come back in here later and continue working on this painting some more. Like I said, oh, that's what I need to do. I want to send the client an update photo of the progress. So let me just take a little picture real quick. And that's that. Yeah, but if you print your own out in 10 seconds on your own printer, it won't have my signature on it, which means it's a useless copy, which will never be worth anything other than the price of the paper you printed it on, and that's it. But see, when you get a print from me, my own personal high quality prints that I sign and date, then it's worth something. Then it has value because I signed it. It's all about me and my signature. You add no value to the piece. You can print 1,000 of them out and they won't be worth shit. And nobody would care. Oh yeah, well, then you know. Well, more power to you. And everybody's going to say, well, where's the signature? These are fake. And my art is copywritten, so you don't have enough money to fight that lawsuit. don't do it, bro. I'm not some small time artist. Don't do it. You get yourself in a world of legal trouble. Peace out. Catch y'all next time.